Well, the San Francisco 49ers are not exercising the $10 million option bonus on left tackle Trent Williams' contract that was due this afternoon. Williams' salary cap number will grow to close to $47 million, but the team is not overly concerned about it. Still plans to rework his contract before next month's NFL draft. That, according to Adam Schefter. Meanwhile, in the world of baseball, as they await trial for an alleged pitch rigging scheme, Guardians pitchers Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz were transferred to unpaid non-disciplinary leave today following an agreement between Major League Baseball and the MLBPA. Previously, the pitchers were on paid non-disciplinary leave. They've pleaded not guilty to multiple conspiracy charges for allegedly receiving money to throw pitches for balls intentionally to benefit gamblers who wagered on individual pitches being balls or strikes.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Happy Friday to everybody out there. We've got good stuff coming your way for those of you that are watching the tournament. Much like Mike Lefko, got your nose just buried in a phone and multiple screens and really not aware of anything else happening in the world. We've got you covered with Tim Brando, my old co-worker from Sporting News Radio, now with Fox Sports as a broadcaster, will join us at 3 p.m. Shannon Drayer, our Mariners insider, will join us at 4:30 today as we get just a little bit closer to opening day. And it being Friday, we've got Mean Text coming up at 5:45. So you can send those in at 866-979-3776. Do your best to be creative with those.
Fat chance.
Probably.
What do you got to say to the texters, Mike?
I don't even want to waste my breath yet. They're not awake.
There we go.
It's just he's whistling in the wind. Nobody would hear it. Yeah. Nobody would hear it. Meanwhile, less than a week now. Less than a week until opening day for our beloved Seattle Mariners. And it was interesting reading a couple just national perspectives on this team. First of all, there's a lot of expectation nationally, not just here locally, but everybody, is looking at this team as, if not the team to beat, one of the top 2 or 3 in the American League. And we talked about some of the tiers in these articles where they've got the Dodgers number 1, and then I think it was Mike Petriello we were talking to. He had a power ranking that had them in the next tier of basically World Series or bust. Is that the standard? Is that where we're at this year? If they don't at least get to a World Series, are we looking at the season as a disappointment? That seems a very high standard, pretty much for any team outside of the Dodgers.
Yeah, it sort of happened fast, right? I mean, could you imagine 2-3 years ago us, saying that this team is World Series or bust? No. So yeah, it kind of happened fast, but. Yeah, I have those expectations. I feel bad about it because I don't have the power to put pressure on them. But I feel like a lot of, people would rather be sort of the underdog and not have a target on their chest, right? So I feel like that's probably, what most Mariner fans feel. But man, I just think objectively, and you hear from the national voices that, yeah, it's pretty much they expect them to be the best team in the American League anyway.
It's a weird position to be in as a Mariners fan.
Yeah.
It really is. And I was looking at this story on MLB.com that was done by Mike Petriello and Will Leach. They called it Drafting the 2026 World Series Favorites from 1 to 30. Mm-hmm. So number 1, I think, on any reasonable person's list is going to be the Dodgers. That's an all-star team. They've spent $8 gazillion to put that roster together. So they both have them at number 1, right? So and they give a little, reasoning. There's a couple of paragraphs as to why. Number 2 is the Seattle Mariners. Of all the teams in baseball, it's the Dodgers, and then the very next team is the Mariners, followed by the Cubs, followed by the Mets, followed by the Yankees, Phillies, Blue Jays. So all of baseball, number 2.
You imagine the Yankee fans just outraged that they're at number 5.
Oh, I'm sure they are. Yeah. It's just a weird, as a Mariner fan, a really weird place to be in. I don't think it's comfortable for a lot of Mariner fans. In fact, I think they they kind of fear that level of expectation. You're used to it with the Seahawks. The Seahawks, look, they've been to the Super Bowl 4 times. They've won twice. They've had over a decade of being a good team that's in the playoffs almost every year. So you're just kind of accustomed to that level of expectation. But with the Mariners, it used to be, can they just get to a playoff? Can they break you went over 2 decades without getting to a playoff.
Mm-hmm.
And now, just a couple years beyond that, they're being looked at as, second best team in all of baseball.
Yeah. Well, and I think if you're on the other side of the country and you look at this team and the way it's put together, you know who Cal Raleigh is, certainly. And then Josh Naylor being added along with Brendan Donovan. You know, you look at Julio Rodriguez, who is, kind of a superstar right up there with Cal. And then, you look at the rotation and the bullpen. Like the rotation, we're having debates on who would be the opening day starter. And there's 3 choices, really. I mean, I think some people might say Kirby. Others, obviously Logan Gilbert and Brian Wu. So, yeah, I mean, I think, and really just the way it's put together, if you just look at it on paper, it looks really good. The only thing I worry about, injuries. That's it.
Yeah.
Really, other than that, I mean, yeah, you've got some question marks at shortstop, maybe second base. Outfield looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think objectively, if you're looking at this team and looking at these players and looking at the guys that they've developed and that are sort of waiting in the wings, like Cade Anderson and Ryan Sloan, yeah, I think objectively you're like, this is the second, at least put together team. The way it's put together, they look like the second best team.
Yeah, it's just a weird spot to be in. It really is.
Do you feel bad saying that? Or
No.
I kind of feel, like I said, I know you always say this, I don't have that much power, but, it's kind of like, yeah, it'll be easy. I don't think it's going to be easy, but really, if you look at it, if they're able to stay healthy, why would they not be the best team in the American
Then
League?
it'll be easy. They're healthy.
Totally.
So, no, it's just it's a very unfamiliar spot as a Mariner fan to be in a situation where not, locally, look, you're a fan, you're going to be very often optimistic, maybe overly optimistic about your teams. That's how it goes as being a fan, or you're going to be the hardcore other way. You're going to be the cynic, and they're never going to do this, they're never going to do that. But nationally, it's just a different spot to be in with this team and have that sort of expectation placed upon them. And I don't think it's got any impact on them. I don't think the Mariners players are in the clubhouse going, wow, did you see what Petriello said about us? See what this guy wrote about us? I don't think they pay any attention to any of that. But that's the one thing we talked about being down there in spring is just sort of the vibe is different in that they expect to be very good. It's not, hey, I hope if all things line up and everybody's healthy and everybody plays to the back of their card, we could be pretty good. No, it's we expect it. The expectation is not just to get to the playoffs. Just getting to the playoffs now is not good enough. If they get to the first round, they lose, you're not looking at that season as a success.
Yeah.
Whereas very recently you would have said, well, hey, at least they got to the postseason. Hadn't seen that in 20-plus years. But now that expectation is completely different. But that's good to me. I think that you got a good team. I mean, so you should expect them to do good things, health provided. And it is cool to have the national media looking at them going, yeah, if this team, like every other team, remains healthy, they should be amongst the top 2 or 3 teams in all of baseball.
Yeah.
Which is a cool place and an unfamiliar place as a Mariner fan.
Well, I think as Michael Bumpus would say, for me, it makes me feel a certain kind of way. I kind of worry about it.
It's a certain type of way, Dave. That's what the kids say.
Certain type of way. What did I say?
Kind of way.
Kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's, I don't know. It's just, it's kind of weird. Like you said, I mean, you just didn't have these expectations in the past. And yeah, I mean, and here's a good example. Scott says from the 425, damn, we're almost setting ourselves up for failure. Murphy's Law. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
How are we setting it up?
Because we have lots of power.
What we say has zero impact on the outcome of games. I hope people understand that. We could say Mariners are going 162-0 or they're going 0-162. It doesn't change the outcome of the game. They are going to be what they are going to be. Yeah. And what we say, what you say, what we think, what you think is not going to change that. It's going to be what it's going to be regardless of our level of confidence, optimism, cynicism, whatever it is.
Well, and here's the thing, the way I look at him, I'm sure that Julio is, one of the leaders on the team. But if you look at the guys that I really think about are Cal, Josh Naylor, and Brendan Donovan. And those guys are just all about just being grinders. And that, they're nothing's going to go to their head. They're so focused in on, winning baseball games and, how can they get better that, you don't feel like, the certain type of way thing I think is very stupid, but I do kind of feel that a little bit. Like I'm just like, oh yeah, they'll be fine. Don't worry about it. There's going to be some, there's going to be some ups and downs, but I just look at them on paper.
Yeah, it's 162. They will be up and down. There'll be losing streaks. There'll be winning streaks.
We haven't even talked about like Andres Munoz.
Yeah,
perhaps one of the best closers in all of Major League Baseball. So, yeah, it's there's just a lot to like, and they've done a great job by getting the right free agents in here, and signing Donovan, signing Naylor, plus the development, and Rosarena for that in that respect. So, yeah, there's just tons to like about it, and I guess I've never thought anything other than this is the best team in the American League.
We had a chance to catch up with Mike Petriello earlier in the week, and he talked about this Mariners team, in his opinion, can easily be the best in the American League.
I think this might be the most confident I feel in their roster in going on 25 years. Can't say I remember the 2001 team that well, but at least in the last couple of decades, this is a really solidly built team. I don't see any massive holes, like some things I can quibble with. And mostly, I look around the rest of the American League, and I'm wondering who the super team is that they can't beat. I think the Blue Jays will be very good again, but I think a lot of things went right for them last year. Obviously, I like the Yankees, the Tigers, whatever, but I look at an AL West that I think is getting weaker, and I look at an American League that doesn't have a Dodgers-level team, and I think to myself, well, why not the Mariners? They are in position, and I really think this could be the year they get there.
Yeah, and again, these are outside voices. This is not somebody who's a Seattle honk who's here covering the team and has got, a vested interest or anything like that. This is somebody who's got no tie here, no allegiance to the Mariners. And it's cool to hear. We had Aaron Goldsmith on, who does have ties to the Mariners, but I think he's obviously a very objective guy. And he was breaking down how, in his opinion, how truly good this roster is.
There's a reason why they feel like they can do what they believe in terms of pursuing a World Series title seriously. This is as loaded of a roster as this organization has had in a long, long time. And it feels like we've said that for the last few years, and I think it's been fair each time. It's kind of been building and building and building, and each guy kind of gets a little bit better and a little bit better. And now when you look around, it's like, yeah, they should feel confident. People should think that this is a team that can go all the way to the World Series because they just have, bottom line, a ton of dudes. They got way more dudes than a lot of other teams in Major League Baseball. They should feel confident. They should feel like they can hoist a trophy at the end of the season.
Yeah, and I think the single thing that worries me the most is that the rotation is, gets banged up. But you pointed this out many times that, you were 8 outs away from going to the World Series, and it was not ideal last year, the rotation and the injuries. So this is and they got better. They went and got Brendan Donovan. So yeah, and signed Josh Naylor. So yeah, I don't think that there's any, I don't think a lot of people are texting in like, oh, what about this? What about that? But when you have the national guys saying that same thing, and puts a little bit more, like, you worry about your objectivity, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, these guys are more of a guide because I'm a Mariner honk. I love this team.
Yeah.
I think I can be objective about them and often get criticized for being too critical of them. but to hear it from the outside, because we are in our bubble here. It is easy to get, too wrapped up in every last moment, every last pitch, and having perspective is valuable, to say the very least. But I'm curious if people agree. Like, again, if they get to the playoffs, that's great. But if it ends in the first round, I'm going to walk away from the season going, yeah, you came up short. Yeah. That was not a success. The bar has been raised for this team, in my opinion. And maybe somebody feels that's unfair. I don't know. Text it in 866-979-3776. I feel like they've got to at least get to where they were last year in the ALCS. We'll see where they're at health-wise and who their opponent and all that. There's a lot that transpires before that, and we'll see what it looks like. But just looking at it now, assuming health for everybody, yeah, this is a team that should be right there playing for that shot to get to the World Series again. And anything less, I think, would be disappointing.
Yeah, and I think kind of comparing it to, like, we talked about the Seahawks and their draft, and it was sort of a complaint-free draft and complaint-free offseason. It's much more that way with Mariner fans.
Yeah.
Based on the texts that we've gotten, it's been complaint-free. I mean, they went and everybody was talking about Brendan Donovan. At the trade deadline, everybody was talking about Eugenio Suarez and Josh Naylor. And they delivered on all of that. And I never thought that was going to happen. You know, especially based on, past off seasons.
Oh, yeah. I'm wondering if Mariner fans are starting to feel maybe not on the same level as they do about John and Mike, where it's just, I think the Seahawks at this point, especially John, since he's been here the whole time, Mike, you're certainly got a high level of belief because you just won a Super Bowl. But I think there's just a blind faith, and whatever move they make, good. That's the right move, right? They've kind of earned that level of trust. They haven't taken any big swings. Everybody's like, cool, I don't care. They know what they're doing. They know how to identify talent. They just kind of at this point have carte blanche to do what they want, and the majority of the fan base is going to go, yeah, probably the right move. I'm in. Mm-hmm. Are Jerry and Justin getting to that point? Not saying they're there, but have they, as a Mariner fan, have you gained more trust in, A, how they've structured this team, how they put this team together, but B, when the trade deadline comes, that they're going to do what they need to do. And again, it's always up to ownership. They can only work with what they're given. Mm-hmm. They never dictate the pocketbook. They don't dictate what they do and don't spend. They're given an allowance, make it work. But have you gained a different level of faith that they're going to make the big move or the move that they need to make?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Jerry, and I remember just trying to irritate Mariner fans by saying, just be patient. Be patient.
Yeah, you can't use that word. That's a no-no.
But look, I mean, that's, they were being patient. They were developing a great farm system and, a lot of homegrown guys. And then, just 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it just wasn't the time that they thought it was the time to add by going and, as you have put it, taking big swings. They weren't going to do that until they got, to a certain point as far as developing their players. And I don't know, it just looks like, it's been hard to endure some of these off seasons, but right now it just looks like they're at that point where they're going to deliver.
Yeah. Text coming in, 866-979-3776. Mitch in Tacoma said, anything less than an ALCS appearance, barring injuries, would be a disappointment. But going full El Hombre, M's going 162-0, baby. So he's feeling confident. 240, that's in Maryland, says, I have a $300 ticket on the Mariners to win the World Series. That's my expectation. How about that? Putting 300 bones on there.
I want to know what odds he got for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure they're not great. Like, I think the Seahawks, I'm trying to remember, it was a pretty, because the over-under was like 7 wins, right? At one point?
Yeah, 7.5, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious, obviously a lot of the national pundits are predicting that the Mariners are going to win the American League. I'm curious what that number is.
Yeah, I'm sure some of our degenerate gamblers who listen can tell us where they rank amongst. I would bet they're amongst the top 5 teams in terms of favorites. I would assume Dodgers are your overwhelming favorite, but I would say the Mariners are in that next group of 2, 3, 4 teams. I bet in terms of odds.
Mm-hmm.
I have no working knowledge of that. I'm just guessing, just based on the anticipation, just based on how they're being viewed nationally. I would say Vegas might represent that, but yeah, if you're a gambler and you know where they sit in terms of odds, are they the fifth most popular, second most likely? The Dodgers are 1. Are they 2, 3, 4, 5? Where are they at?
If only there was a way to find out. According to FanDuel Sportsbook, plus 1,200.
Where does that rank? Is that?
Yeah, I don't know as far as the ranking goes, but yeah, that's where the Mariners are at.
Okay. Yeah, I want to know where they rank. Dodgers are the favorites. That's clear. Who's next? How far until you get to the Mariners? I've got to believe they're in that first group behind the Dodgers. But we'll count on our gambling friends to check in with us and let us know on that. Meanwhile, let's take 2.
Well, early NCAA tournament action saw the most dramatic game of the day and maybe the tournament so far. Final 10 seconds of Kentucky-Santa Clara featured 8 points and a half-court 3 at the buzzer by Kentucky to send the game to overtime, and then held off the 10-seed Santa Clara to win 89-84.
What was the kid's name that hit it? Owe,
I think.
Owe. Yeah. They asked him afterwards. He goes, yeah, I was just trying to get it close. And he went off the glass. I made both my kids come in and watch that with me. I'm like, this is like one of the coolest sort of transitions I've ever seen, because when Santa Clara hits that 3, the whole place just goes nuts. And then when the Kentucky player hits right in the middle of the square and drains it from like right about half court.
Did he call backboard?
The whole place went nuts.
Did he call it? Doesn't
he
count.
Didn't call
call it.
He did not call it.
Shouldn't count.
He was just trying to get it close. That's what he said.
Field Yates reports the Jags are signing Jake Bobo to an offer sheet, but because he's a restricted free agent, Seahawks have 5 days to decide whether or not they will match it. If not, it would reunite Bobo with Shane Waldron, who is the Jaguars' passing game coordinator.
Is he going to be a Colby Parkinson, going to go somewhere and become an impact player
Much
elsewhere?
Better. Yeah. There were Jake Bobo critics that, and one criticism was that he moves around like an old man, kind of. He's one of those guys, well, I would say, I'm not comparing him to JSN, but there's lots of times where he gets open and he makes catches, and you're like, how's he doing that? He's not that fast. He's tall, and he's obviously, got good hands. But, Bump and Stacy will be bummed because they like saying Jake Bobo.
Yeah, they think it's objectively fun to say Jake Bobo.
We hear that.
Yeah, I maintain he wouldn't have near the level of popularity out here if his name was Jake Smith. He wouldn't. People would be like, yeah, he doesn't run very well, and he's a special teams guy. Who cares? But he's Bobo, so people are like, you can't let him go. And I like him on the team. I like his what he does on special teams. I think he's an option at receiver. I don't think he's great. I don't think he's a great receiver, but I think he's a solid player for the team. And we've talked about the level of importance of special teams.
Yeah. Well, and he had a key block on that return, the first return that Shaheed had against Atlanta.
I mean, he plays a big role there, and I know it gets dismissed, and I don't know even know if people are still in touch with how crucial the special teams were for the Seahawks this year. But he was a big part of that, so I'd hate to see him go.
I would say probably the one coach that really doesn't want to see him go is Jay Harbaugh, just because he's one of those guys that fills in the back of your roster, kind of like a Derek Young, type who lost him too.
Yeah. Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/Cyberknife Prostate. This has now become the talking point of the Seahawks offseason. We'll get into that coming up next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Breaking news this morning from ESPN.
Is it finally happening?
Good golly, Miss Molly.
ESPN's Shams Charania, the NBA, will go next week to explore adding expansion teams in Vegas and Seattle. Joining us now, Shams himself.
The NBA is projecting that both Seattle and Las Vegas would immediately jump into the top 8 of revenue-generating teams.
Stay caught up on the latest at seattlesports.com and Seattle Sports on 710, the app, and YouTube.
Flying chickens in a barnyard.
It's funny how you get used to things in not so ideal condition around the house. It's Dave Wyman here, and for me, it was old windows. After 20 years in our home, virtually every window had a broken seal. We got used to cold drafts, outside noises, and condensation. And if you're in the same boat, use this spring to say goodbye to the old, dreary windows and hello to your new exclusive windows from Harley Exteriors. Right now, they're having a spring cleaning sale to complete your home makeover. If you buy 10 windows, you can choose between 20% off your entire project or get a free door. On top of that, make 0 payments and accumulate 0 interest for up to 12 months for qualified buyers. Harley Exteriors windows are a massive upgrade, manufactured right here in the Pacific Northwest and exclusive to Harley Exteriors. Call 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today at harleyexteriors.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Dave Taylor from First Mark Insurance. So glad, so thankful that Molly and I made the call. Had heard so many First Mark Challenge victories, we needed to take that challenge. What does happen from your perspective when that caller, when that email, when that person reaches out to you for a First Mark Challenge victory?
That's a great question. So there's several steps we go through in the process. The first step is we're going to gather information, find out all we can about that client and what their needs are. The next step is we will go out to the market. We have dozens and dozens of carriers that will compete for the business. At the end of that process, we will then bring those findings back to the customer, show them what we found, and who the eventual winner was in that competition.
And it may be who they're with.
It might be, yes. And sometimes that's the best we can do is recommend they stay where they are, but maybe modify a few coverages to put them in a better position.
So go take that challenge today. Go be the next First Mark Challenge victory. It costs you nothing, and they will be there with you every step of the way. FirstMarkInsurance.com. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Don't miss Three Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League Baseball.
This could be 2. JP has it, goes to the bag, steps on second, fires to first, double play.
Broadcast times at SeattleSports.com.
For those diagnosed with anxiety, depression, or PTSD, Northwest Ketamine Clinics wants you to know hope is within reach. Here's Brandon, a recent patient.
Going to sleep was challenging. Getting my brain to turn off was challenging. Just kind of getting through every day was a bit challenging. Like everything was a little too hard, a little too much resistance, and that just kind of evaporated. After the first few sessions of ketamine, it was noticeable. People remarked on it pretty quickly. I had done maybe 2 sessions, 3 sessions, and people started going, what are you doing differently? You look awesome. You just look like your skin is healthier and you look happier. To anyone thinking about giving it a try, if you have depression, ADHD, bipolar, any of those things feel like they would vastly benefit from it. So go for it. That's what I say.
Welcome to the Pacific Northwest's most experienced ketamine center. Book a free phone or video consult at nwketamineclinics.com. Healing starts here.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
At quarterback, calling the right play could change the whole game. And when your car breaks down, same idea. Make the right call before the big repair bill hits. CarShield helps protect you from expensive auto repairs. Plans include 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, and rental car options, all to keep your drive alive. Look, breakdowns happen, but choosing CarShield, that's the easiest call you'll make all day.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. A reminder, we got mean text coming up today at 5:45, so feel free to get those flowing. Meanwhile, this running back conversation, which John kind of mocked yesterday, kind of brought up like, oh, is that going to be the new O-line? That's going to be what everybody's complaining about, what everybody's worried about? Yeah, I think it is. I think that's what most people are concerned with, at least as we sit right now, not knowing what they're going to do in the draft, not knowing how free agency will end for them, or maybe there's a trade. I mean, there's still business to be done for this team. So I don't know that we're set at that spot, but it feels like it's going to be the case, especially if they were to go into. I mean, I can't imagine that they'd go into the season going, no, we're good with what they got now. That would be surprising to me.
Yeah, I think I would be surprised as well. Just looking at like Emmanuel Wilson. So you got a lot of different guys. It kind of reminds me of like, some of the holes that were in the Mariner lineup where it's like, okay, if this guy works out or that guy works out. But, I think ultimately you have to trust that, Schneider is, he's got the guys that he thinks can do it. And, that involves Kenny McIntosh and his health, Zach Charbonnet and his health, and then this Emmanuel Wilson, being a guy that can kind of fill in. He's gotten, it's his fourth year in the league, and the last 2 years he ran for 500 and 496. So, just kind of piecemeal the whole thing together, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, there's always going to be that, and I don't want to call it a hole, but like it is something you feel like that's probably one of the positions, maybe right guard as well, maybe replacing Kobe Bryant, maybe getting another corner. And later on we'll rank confidence as far as, position groups. But, yeah, running back, that's just how it goes in the NFL. And I guess you just have to accept it because the franchise tag number is very low. It's just right ahead of kickers and special team guys. So, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those positions that the rest of the NFL apparently doesn't really value.
Well, and we'll see what they do with it, or, how much do they truly believe in the guys they've got. George Halani is on the roster, and he hasn't had a ton of opportunity out there, but has flashed in specific moments. And when we talked to John yesterday, and if you guys missed our conversation with John, it's on the podcast page at seattlesports.com. We talked to him. We'll talk to him actually on Wednesday next week. Just a little programming note because we've got opening day on Thursday, but that show will happen on Wednesday. Meanwhile, he talked about George Halani, what he can do, and and they're confident they're going to be able to find the others that they need at that spot as well.
George is one of those guys that just does everything really well. He catches the ball. He catches the ball, pass protection. Doesn't put the ball on the ground. Really good instincts. He's just and he's a true pro. Like, he's just got great personality. The position and how you acquire people throughout the year. It's just this position in particular. I remember we signed Ryan Grant. Remember he went to Notre Dame, played for the Giants. Yeah. We traded for him at the 53 in Green Bay, and Mike McCarthy's a good friend of mine. He was the head coach, and he's like, "What? We just traded for this guy." He's like, "You expect this guy to start? Like, what are you guys thinking? Us scouts against the coaches. Personnel versus coaches. Like, this guy has to come in here. He had like 1,000 yards, and that's a position that you can find guys."
Yeah, he doesn't seem the least bit worried about, if this guy's not it, we'll find guys. And I got to say they're right. I mean, they've done it. Yeah. They've done it. And Chris Carson, 7th round running back, he was a really good running back. If not for injury, who knows what that career looks like, and that's true of that position. It's just generally not one you see that same name in there year in, year out. It's a very short lifespan in terms of career as a running back generally. But yeah, I tend to go along with him. Like, yeah, I'd love to have that answer. It'd be great to have no questions at any position and go, well, yeah, that's our guy here, and we got our guys here, and we're set. But right now, I don't know who that's going to be, but his lack of concern eases my mind.
Yeah. Well, and he's, like we've been talking about, he's kind of on a heater right now. And also, Brian Fleury has a lot to do with that, too, the new offensive coordinator. Like, and I'm sure John and him have had a lot of conversations like, hey, what we're running, do we have the right guys here? Mm-hmm. And, that the reason I asked about Helani specifically is because at the end of the year, I mean, the numbers certainly do not reflect it, but just what my eyes were telling me is that he just looked different. Like John said, his pass pro, catching the ball, he doesn't fumble. He's a pretty reliable back. But I mean, you're talking about a guy who has a grand total of 83 yards rushing in the NFL. So I mean, I think that's where the concern comes from, is that he hasn't done it before, but. Look, that's I think John has a pretty good grasp of what the market is for running backs. And then, just what he saw at the end of the year was something different.
Yeah, it's I don't know what Helani's going to be. I don't – maybe given an opportunity, he turns into something nobody gives him credit for or doesn't believe he can be. I mean, I look at him and go, yeah, I think he's a nice complementary piece. I don't look at him as a back that's your workhorse. Right. But he could certainly prove me wrong, 100%. We'll find out, but I don't look at him as the answer right now. And I would hope to be wrong about that. I would love it if all of a sudden, hey, man, this guy's getting 15, 18 touches a game, and he's lighting it up. Awesome. I would love. I mean, come on, man. I'm rooting for that. I don't care what their name is or where they were drafted, or in his case, he was undrafted. So, yeah. I'm rooting for anybody in a Hawks uniform, but as we sit right now, I don't view him as the answer. I think Charbonnet would be obviously your primary back, health provided. Yeah. I don't know how McIntosh fits in. I didn't know that before his injury. Mm-hmm. I couldn't. We talked a million times about him. Never really understood why he didn't get more opportunity, especially when they had injury problems. He still didn't really get much of an opportunity. So it just I would always fall back on what you said a long time ago. We're not seeing practice, and maybe there's just something not happening there. He's not picking up on things that they need him to pick up. I don't know why he didn't get more opportunity when it seemed like it was there for him.
Yeah, and we thought that was a Pete thing.
Yeah.
But then, after Pete left, it didn't really improve. So, yeah, he's a big question mark. But, look, they do have a second-round pick, and that's where they got both Charbonnet and K9.
Yep.
And K9 ran for over 1,000 yards his rookie year. Mm-hmm. So, if they think, maybe they have identified somebody there. But,
do you look at him as a special back? I just thought he was good.
Sure was at the end of the year.
I thought he was a good running back. I don't know. I wouldn't put him in the conversation with the elite running backs. No. I think he's just a good running back.
Yeah, like Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
or blanking on the kid from Atlanta, Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
he's not Derrick Henry. He's not Saquon. He's not those guys. But he just the reason I ask is I'm wondering how much you put on how much of his success you put on him being, hey, he's just a different kind of guy, or hey, this scheme is really good. The offensive line really started to gel, and you put somebody else back there, they should be able to maybe duplicate what he did or come close to it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, he did do some spectacular things. The 17-yard run in the it wasn't the NFC Championship game, actually. It was the Thursday night game that they played against the Rams, where he kind of did like almost a pirouette on one leg, just staying up. Was pretty special. So you saw him do some really spectacular things. So, I think I'm a little bit probably jaded by the fact that he finished the year really well. Mm-hmm. I mean, 300 yards in the playoffs and Super Bowl MVP. I mean, he played phenomenal, and it looked like he was just getting better and better every game. So, yeah, I think he's a pretty special back, but I'm going to be very curious to see how he does in Kansas City. Can he run in a different system? Is it that system and the way we got the blocking down at the end with the offensive line at the end of the year? And is that what it's all about, or is it more about K9? Because the one run that I described where, everybody booed, it was a 3rd and 16 and he picks up 17. That was special. And you saw him do that a number of times. Another time, they ran like an outside zone play and he sort of hides up in the line and then just darts out to the side and beats the corner to the end zone. So, I mean, there are some really special things that he does. I don't see George Holani doing that, but, I don't know that he has that kind of, sort of spectacular play ability like K9 does. But, John likes it, and maybe they can, put if Charbonnet gets healthy, let's say, after the first month of the season, and they get him going, it all is going to depend on how he overcomes the injury. And somebody texted in about this, that, there's one thing to overcome the injury and get rehabbed and everything, but there's another to get yourself mentally right and prepared. And that's difficult after an ACL.
Meanwhile, the promising future of the Mariners is on full display right now. We'll dive into what it could potentially mean for them this season. That's coming your way next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Having one of those days where a little of this would make things so much better?
Fastball, strike 3 called. He got him looking. How about that for a Cactus League debut? Cade Anderson striking out the side.
We got you. You can stream every Mariners spring training game live for free on the Seattle Sports app. Making lives better through Mariners baseball, one
goodbye baseball
at a time. Home of your American League West champion Mariners.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
It's WFC 190 World Fighting Championship at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center. Saturday night, April 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy professional mixed martial arts. Tickets at EmeraldQueen.com. Don't miss this amazing mixed martial arts event. WFC 190 World Fighting Championship, April 25th. At Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Listen every morning to Brock and Salk for Need to Know, powered by Marquee Data. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to learn more.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
Mariners fans, the 2026 season is officially on deck. And Cal, Julio, and the defending AL West champs are ready to feed off your energy at T-Mobile Park. Be here for every monster home run.
There it is, number 60. The magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Every 100-mile-per-hour heater.
And he throws it and the ball game's over. Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Every clutch moment.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
It's going to be an epic 50th season, and you won't want to miss it. Mariners baseball. Try to enter.
Lock in your spot for the season with a Mariners Reserved membership. Get the best seats at the best prices for 20 games or the whole slate. Plus, enjoy perks like guaranteed postseason access, year-round savings, no ticket fees, and more. Memberships start under $500. Find your plan at mariners.com/26. Your old water heater's starting to peter.
DayandNight.net. Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net. Get broadcast times for every Three Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League broadcast.
Holy smokes, he does it again!
At seattlesports.com.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated, so don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart, just complete the purchase. Hurry, this deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Every business starts with an idea. With smart business buying from Amazon Business, get everything you need to grow in one familiar place. From office supplies to IT essentials and maintenance tools. Ready to bring your visions to life? Learn how at AmazonBusiness.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports at 97.3 FM HD2.
Text line is there, 866-979-3776. Weigh in on the Seahawks, Mariners, whatever's on your mind. Somebody was texting and asking, saying they would love to draft Coleman from UW, but would you make a deal for Kamara from the Saints? No. I said no. He's going to be 31 years old. That guy's having a hard time staying healthy. I think he's washed.
Yeah, I remember the last time the Saints came up here. I want to say it was like 2019 maybe, or maybe I'm missing one, but I remember looking at him going, this guy is like the complete back. But that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
they take a pounding.
Yeah, I mean, he's not played a full season since his rookie year. I mean, a full 16. Now he played 16 his rookie year. Next year, 15. Next year, 14, 15, 13, 15, 13, 14, 11 last year. So he's missing games every year. Last year, the most. He played 11 games last year, had 471 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown.
What's an acceptable number of games for a running back, realistically?
Well, it depends on, like, if you're making this guy you're the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd want 14 out of him.
Yeah.
You can give me 13, 14?
13 or 14 is kind of the number that I think.
But
you look
acceptable. His 3.6 yards per carry. I know he's a receiver as well, but last year he had 186 receiving. He was a bad year for him last year.
Yeah.
Just not healthy, not productive.
Yeah, but he's averaged like over 500-600 per season as far as catching the ball. He's got 5,000 reception yards, and
it's amazing. He's
25 touchdowns.
Never had a 1,000-yard season.
Wow,
as a running back.
Yeah, I think he's not Frank Gore.
No, he's not that just durable, take a beating, and the production keeps going. So he's a hell of a player. Obviously, he's that dual threat. So he's doing a lot of his damage as a receiver as well as a running back. But pretty interesting. Never had a 1,000-yard season. And he's making a lot of money, and he's had a nice career. But yeah, he's going to be 31 in July. For a running back who's been in the league as long as he has, and you're seeing the games missed, I'd say no.
I mentioned Frank Gore just now. You guys would have been so embarrassed for me if you were there when I went fanboy on Frank Gore. I saw him down on the sidelines for that last Niner game.
Yeah.
I go, Frank Gore, right? And he's like, yes, sir. And I'm like, you're a bad mother. And then I just went on and on about, wow, I mean, I love you. And he was just like, thank you. Yeah, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I was full fanboy. I was just like, that is the baddest dude ever.
It was like you were talking to Cal the whole time.
It was kind of Cal Raleigh-ish.
I saw Gore walking by the media area. I don't know where he was going, but he down that hallway before you turn into the media room.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was walking with a group of people, and he had that look on his face.
Yeah, like he wants to run you over.
Yeah, he looked like he was ready to play. But, yeah, go ahead, text in 866-979-3776. Again, mean text coming up at 5:45 today. But you got the Mariners, you got the breakout game coming up today. You've got a lot of young stars, a lot of young talent, not just pitching, a lot of young positional talent in this farm system people are excited about. Obviously, the headliners are your two pitchers, and Cade Anderson and Ryan Sloan.
Mm-hmm.
Can we hit mute on that, do you think? Or
I don't know why we have to point it out. But
well, I think people hear the dinging in the background.
I can't hear it.
You can't hear that?
No.
How did you know what I was talking about then?
I don't know, Bob. What are we talking about here?
But outside of those two pitchers who deserve that kind of attention, they're position players and Laz Montez, as we've talked about it, he's the one guy I don't want to see him get rid of him, not because he's a guaranteed superstar, but he's to me is the most intriguing guy. Just he's a behemoth. He's a monster in terms of his size. He's just turned 20 years old.
Well, and can you imagine, I mean, if he plays up to his potential, people are going to love this guy because, he's just not only a great baseball player, but just seemingly a really good human being. But, yeah, he's kind of one of those guys, the fact that they call him Baby Alvarez, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Baby Jordan.
Yeah, or Jordan. That's, to me, I think that's a pretty lofty comparison, but it's kind of exciting.
Well, yeah, to have a guy who's just, I mean, when he hits the ball, he crushes it. Now he's got a lot of swing and miss, but he's 20, so we'll see what happens with that. But we had Jim Callis on from MLB.com, MLB Pipeline, and asked what he thinks of Laz Montez. This is what he had to say.
There aren't many minor leaguers who have more power than him. He hits the ball hard. He hits it far. Last year he hit 32 homers in the minors, did most of that damage in high. Well, he split the season between high and Double-A, and he was 20 years old. He's a pretty precocious power-hitting prospect. I mean, there is some swing and miss there. It's always going to be a power overhit guy. He's not a big runner, so he's more of a left field DH type. He does have a strong arm. But, yeah, no, I mean, his power is tremendous. So, I mean, that's another reason I like the Mariners system is you got a little bit of everything. We talked about Anderson and Sloan. We talked about Cole Emerson. He's one of the best pure hitters in the minors. And Laz Montez is one of the best power hitters in the minors. His raw power is near the top of the scale.
Yeah, it's intriguing.
They seem to be like hitting it out of the park on pitching and outfielders, and it's just like a whole. It's not like it seems like they specialize in pitching, and that's probably where they've had the most success as far as developing players. But man, it's just they're just crushing it right now, getting these kinds of players, and I think a lot of it has to do with the way that they develop them. But yeah, I mean, it just seems like we used to talk about these guys going, yeah, but after a few years of with Jerry and building the farm system, it just seems like you almost expect these guys, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter or an infielder. I mean, it's just they've been crushing that part of it.
Yeah, and then another guy that I think a lot of people are excited about is Michael Arroyo, who seems to be in the middle of potentially a position change. He's a second baseman. I don't think he's a great defensive second baseman, and I don't know that they think that either because they have him working in left field. And we'll see what kind of outfielder he's going to be. But ultimately, he's a guy that I can't remember who was talking about him down there, but saying his bat is maybe the most major league ready of all their prospects, which is pretty high praise. But we asked Jim Callis about him.
Kind of iffy as an infielder, and he's probably more of an outfielder in the long run. I mean, realistically, we're probably going to see Colt Emerson and Cole Young being the double play combination in the future, and Arroyo probably winds up in the outfield, which is fine because I think he's gotten a bat to make that work. He does a little bit of everything. He controls the strike zone. He hits for average. He hits for power. He's not, I think it's more average speed, but he's got some base stealing potential. He could be a potential, 2020 guy at the major league level who I think is going to contribute in a lot of ways offensively. And, if he does wind up in the outfield, again, I do think he has the offense to profile as a regular.
Yeah, when you look at Arroyo, I mean, you have heard some complaints about his defense and that it's not great. But yeah, I was looking. You got Perry Hill. I mean, he does such a good job, and if he's hitting, I feel like that's more than half the battle.
Yeah. Problem is, if Cole Young lives up to his billing and Colt Emerson lives up to his, you don't have a spot for Arroyo in the infield. So if he could profile to be an outfielder, if he can turn into a good left, I mean, they've never had that guy in left field. They've never had their just no-brainer, here's the left fielder of all time, best left fielder of all time for the Mariners. It's a hodgepodge of names. In fact, we'll get into it because the Times did their 50-year anniversary, the all-Mariner team, if you will, and they named the best at each position. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But, yeah, they just have never had that guy. Like they have in center and right field. So if he could turn into that left fielder, that would be unbelievable.
Maybe a trade piece.
Could be, yeah. I mean, Las Montez could be too, and that would really bum me out. But only because he's just such a curiosity. Such a curiosity. Meanwhile, this guy's one of the best around for college basketball insight, NIL, everything in the world of college sports. Our buddy Tim Brando is going to join us next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
9 out of 10 experts agree wearing earbuds at work is the universal signal for leave me alone. So grab the earbuds, pull up the Seattle Sports app, and trade that annoying coworker's endless yapping for this.
He's at the wall. Cal Raleigh's first one of the spring.
Listen to every Mariners spring training game live for free, only on the Seattle Sports app. Improving lives through Mariners baseball, one
sparkling play by Josh Naylor
at a time.
P&D Tree Service, local experts in tree removal for residential and commercial. Their team works fast to remove problem trees in your yard and neighborhood. If you were hit hard by the storm, P&D Tree will remove trees and clean up while minimizing impact on your landscaping. 24-hour emergency service, any job, big or small, safe, efficient, and fast. P&D Tree Service turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. Enjoy a clean, safe, and bright yard. PNDTreeService.com.
This is Brock Heward. Seastar Restaurant and Raw Bar is celebrating 24 years as Bellevue's go-to for fresh, seasonal seafood, and me and my family's as well. My good friend Chef John Howie delivers excellence behind every single plate, and it doesn't matter. Local oysters, sushi, cedar plank salmon, generous portions, polished service, and meals that become lasting memories. Right now, 3-course dinners in the lounge, starting at just $50. Seastar, the dining experience you remember. SeastarRestaurant.com.
Unbelievable prices? Incredible performance? Bah! At Pacific Power Batteries, we strive to be believable. In fact, product knowledge and guidance in application gives us credibility. Having an informative website just adds to it. At Pacific Power Batteries, our prices and values are believable. We look for great people to hire and train carefully to be credible. Locally owned, credible company with believable salespeople is the best that we at Pacific Power Batteries can provide.
Baseball season is in full swing, and Toyota of Kirkland is kicking things off with 2 lineup standouts, the Camry and the Corolla. Whether you want the Camry's smooth power or the Corolla's reliable efficiency, these are the cars built to get you to every first pitch. Take a test drive today so you can take home your new Toyota that same day. No waiting, no extra innings. Step up to the plate at Toyota of Kirkland or online at toyotaofkirkland.com. That's toyotaofkirkland.com.
O'Brien.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
The countdown is on.
Just 6 days until opening day next Thursday against the Guardians at T-Mobile Park.
On the home of the American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports. KIRO AM Seattle. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Taking a look at your tournament scoreboard. Couple of games going on right now in the second half. Tennessee up big on Miami of Ohio. That's the 6-11 matchup. They're up 60-36. Meanwhile, in the second half, Utah State and Villanova, the 8-9 matchup, tied at 65. Finals from earlier today. Some big games going on. Arizona, the 1 seed, took out 16 seed Long Island University 92-58. It was the 2 seed Iowa State over Tennessee State. That's the 2-15 matchup. 108-74 the final there. Virginia, the 3 seed, takes out 14 seed Wright State 82-73. Alabama, the 4 seed, takes out 13th seed Hofstra 90-70 the final in that one. Texas Tech 91-71 over Akron. That's the 5-12 matchup. And Kentucky gets it done in overtime over 10 seed Santa Clara 89-84 the final.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
We're awaiting Tim Brando of Fox Sports, broadcaster for Fox Sports, scheduled to join us, talk some NCAA tournament basketball and everything else going on in the world of college sports. So hopefully we'll be catching up with him shortly. Meanwhile, text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. Some mean texts coming in. There have been a couple of entries. Any that have caught your eye, Lefko?
No, not yet.
Nothing? You don't think?
No, they're not good enough yet.
They're not good enough?
Actually, there probably are some good ones. We had a couple waiting for us when I got in today.
Really?
They were very excited to get those mean texts going. I don't know why. But yeah.
Before the show started, they were waiting.
So you have two extremes. They don't know how to text during the show. They either text before or they just wake up too late. Don't text them in time. So, yeah.
Well, and they also they don't follow directions because you've said be clever and brief.
Yeah.
Here's a long one I'll read. What do you get when you pair a dumbass with a smartass and get them to host a radio show? The dumb and smart cancel each other out, and they give you jack. So you're left with a couple of jackasses. It was, I see where he's going there. That's kind of, but it's just too long.
Too many words.
Yeah.
Too many words.
Wordy.
Too many words. Yeah. Hey, we appreciate the effort. Just tighten it up a little bit. Tighten it up. Maybe work on the punchline. But no, it's a good start. Good start. That's who's that? 360 sent that. Yeah. So there you go. There's an example of kind of what not to do. But see what you guys can get going at 866-979-3776 as we await Tim Brando. I don't know if Lefko's got him on the phone right now. See him gesturing back there.
Possible. You used to work with Brando?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we got him. We got him. He's with us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. My old compadre out there at Sporting News Radio, Tim Brando, is here. How are you, man?
Most of America and even in Seattle is saying, sporting what? They did radio? I thought that was a magazine. How you doing, Bob?
I'm good.
Good to talk to you.
It's good to talk to you. Hey, that was a good run out there at Sporting News. That was a fun time.
Yeah, I had fun. I would not have had a radio show for 15 years nationally if not for Sporting News. In fact, I tried to talk them out of hiring me a bunch of times, but they just they made it too easy. All I had to do was run up to my study and flip a switch, and boom, I was talking sports. And it turned out I wound up doing it for 15 years, and the damn thing was televised for the last 3 years of my stay at CBS. So it was a fun time, absolutely.
Yeah, you got it good when you're trying to talk people out of hiring you. That's
well,
Tim.
Here's something to tell young broadcasters all the time. Okay, if the future boss is flying out to play golf with you at where you live, and he's telling you that all you have to do is run upstairs and we'll make sure. And this was before we had Zooms and all that. I was like, what? You're gonna do what? If they do that, then you probably have that one key word that always helps you in a burgeoning broadcasting career. You may have a little leverage at that point.
Yeah.
So something to remember. Leverage is the key to long-term success in our business.
There you go. Yeah, I just texted Rabel, and and I was looking at your age. You still got your fastball, and I always say that to Rabel. I told him when I work with him with the Seahawk broadcasts, he says to say hello. And
I love Steve. Yeah.
Both of you guys are.
We did indoor. We did indoor football together. We did the Arena League together one time on ESPN back around 87, I think it was, something like that. Yeah. In the late, great Chet Forty, who was the producer and director of the original Monday Night Football, Chet Forty, who later did radio in San Diego before he passed away, he produced us, believe it or not. So that is going back, and Steve's great. He was a hell of a ball player, too. A lot of people that listen to him don't know that now because he's such an accomplished play-by-play man.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And Rabe's one of the greats out there, as well as this man, Tim Brando, who's with us. Hey, Tim, before we get into the games that are going on and the seating and all that good stuff, what I don't know that we've had a chance to talk to you since the NIL has become so prominent. I'm just wondering what it's done to your view of the game in college sports, not just basketball, but football. Has it made it better? Has it made it worse? It's certainly made it harder to follow individual players because they move around so much. But what's your take on the NIL and the impact it's had?
Well, now that I'm not having to do daily radio, okay, I don't have to keep up with any of these kids until they're on a roster. Okay, so I just really now, granted, when you're preparing to do a game, you need to know what their journey has been. So you pick up on that afterwards. But just generally, because you know how much I love the college game, this garbage that so many want to spew out there, and many of the people that are spewing it are my age and older. Okay, I just turned 70 on February 27th. And most of my generation, the baby boomers out there that are screaming bloody murder about how it's destroyed the game. You know, they're stuck in the mud. They haven't learned how to adjust and adapt, because all it's done is made the game more competitive and spread the talent, the wealth of talent that used to be concentrated at blue blood programs all around the country now. I mean, my God, we just had the losingest program in the history of Division I college football win the national championship. I mean, what more proof do you need? What Kurt Signetti did, my God, that's incredible. And while it's made life more difficult for some coaches, particularly those that have been around for a long time and are having difficulty adjusting to it, you know, look at a guy like Signetti, who's no spring chicken. Look at a guy like Rick Pitino in basketball, who's 73. And he's like, this is fine. I got no problem. You lean into it. Whatever the changes are, you have to lean into it if you love it. As a broadcaster, I love the art form of calling games. That's why that's all I do now, you know, and I plan on doing it for a few more years. I do, because I love it so much. And when I prepare to go do games now, I'm seeing more competitive games. I'm not seeing nearly the number of blowouts that I used to see. And, you know, the discrepancy between certain programs, even in the same conference, as you know, can be huge given whether the institution cares about the sport or doesn't. Okay. Take a look at the difference between, say, Oregon and Cal in terms of when they were both in the Pac-12. Cal did not invest in its program. Oregon did. Okay. So the Pac-12 blows up, and what happens? The schools that were in the Pac-12 that cared, they found homes in the Big 12 and the Big 10, and they're flourishing. They're all doing pretty well. And I would even argue that a program like Cal and Stanford that had not invested to the liking of many, found some homes in the ACC, and they're actually improving a little because of the changing face and the changing complexion of college football, and to some extent basketball too. So, yeah, look, we got a lot of issues out there, without a doubt. It's not sustainable without some form of guardrails or regulations, and that's fine. But the product on the field that I have to deal with on a weekly basis, it's never been better. Viewership is up, ratings are up, and the competitive nature of the championship formats now allows for greater access for teams to have a chance to compete for national championships. And I think that's great for the game. I really do.
Hey, Tim, have you noticed anything in the kids themselves? I thought, you know, with the NIL that maybe, you know, guys would go crazy with their money because they're young guys spending. And from what we've heard from, I know with the Seahawks, they talk about how they're a lot more mature and they're much more professional ready. Is that what you've noticed?
They are. Yeah, I have. And I'll tell you this, what doesn't get reported, and it's unfortunate, but what doesn't get reported are the things that some of these young men have been able to do with their money. Yeah. There was a player just a couple of years ago that was at Ole Miss who had a special needs brother who his parents could not afford to continue to raise. And that young man transferred from out on the West Coast somewhere into Ole Miss. And he was a player Chris Beard had that they were able, through the NIL deal that he had, let that young man help take care of him. And there was, within the community of Oxford, Mississippi, a kind of school that could help that kid in ways that he otherwise might not have ever received. That's just one isolated story. There are many others, okay? And this is true not just with football players and basketball players, but also baseball players. You know, we forget sometimes that at certain programs that are considered elite in baseball, some of these kids now, and that really is NIL, because it's not the same kind of pay-for-play treatment that we keep hearing about in football and basketball. In baseball, where you're only getting a half scholarship, those kids really need to get some support, you know. And now through NIL, if you've got a good program in place and you've got an infrastructure in place, I've seen some marvelous things done with those kids in sports like that people don't really consider. So, what makes splashes on websites and everyone wants to talk about on these gab fests, these embrace debate, god-awful shows on cable television every day. It's the worst invention since the zipper, I swear. It's just,
not a fan of the zipper.
Yeah. Well, no, I always thought those button-down pants I wore in the 70s were really cool. But no, honestly, we hear so many stories about, well, this kid's holding out for this. And listen, the coaches themselves, I think, sometimes are responsible in holding out for more. I mean, my God, they in the past have been able to leave anytime they wanted and leave players, kind of lost. Now players' rights matter. They do. But I do think we can't have them holding programs up every year. We need to put something in play where, you're allowed to transfer once, but after you've done that, unless the coach leaves, you can't transfer again without losing a year's worth of eligibility. We've got to have some guardrails up there. But the problem, as is usually the case, is not the players. It's the adults in the room. And, that photo op that President Trump had with the A-list celebrities of sports a couple of Fridays ago, I think that was there to stimulate some interest and maybe get some bipartisan support in Congress. But I don't think there is a such thing anymore. I don't think there is bipartisan anything in Congress anymore. I think it's up to the commissioners of the sports themselves to take over, because the NCAA is a gutless, toothless operation that knows every time they go to court, they're going to get spanked. So they're so worried about litigation, they're not even going to attempt to. I mean, we have to understand that now. And the commissioners themselves, the Greg Sankeys and the Tony Petittis and Greg Yormarks and Jim Phillipses, they need to take the bull by the horns and begin to lead. And if that means finding a way to get exemptions or to get the job done without seeking help from Congress, then so be it. Otherwise, we are going to have real problems in another, say 5 to 6 years. We can survive for maybe another couple of years, but after that, I think we're in some trouble. And, we can't be depending on Congress to bail out college athletics. We just can't.
Right. Hey, Tim, I want to ask you about this year's crop of teams in the tournament, and I did something with my bracket I've never done before. I just said, I don't care who the teams are. I'm taking the higher seed. I'm going chalk through the entire thing. Every time I try to pick upsets, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
You think you're so smart. I know this team so well.
Right.
It doesn't work out.
Right.
So I just said, I'm going to take every high seed. We'll see how it turns out. But I'm curious, I felt like there was a lot less complaining this year about the teams that every year we got teams kicking and screaming saying, how did this team get in? And this team did not make it, and blah, blah. I felt like there was a lot less of that this year. Do you feel like the committee got it right for the most part?
Yeah, for the most part, yes. The right 68 teams were selected, but the wrong numerals next to their name is still their problem.
Right.
They're too reliant on metrics. Okay, it's become, and I'm not an anti-analytics guy at all. I see why some sports and coaches now have changed their methodology. I do, but I think that a lot of these people on the committee, they just have no clue or common sense when it comes to certain aspects of the seeding process. How a team is playing the last 2 months of a season, it used to matter. The last 10 games used to matter to the committee. Now they don't. And they have selective ethics when it comes to seeding with some teams, and then they forget about those ethics to others. There's no doubt St. John's was misseeded. There's just no doubt. You beat a team by 20 that's in the same region with you, and you beat them for the second time out of 3 occasions to play them, and they're a 3 seed in the region where you're a 5. How the hell does that happen? you know, and they won 19 of their last 20 games. That's another thing about St. John's. So the seedings are screwed up. But that's, I think, largely because we have people looking at Ken Palm, and we have people looking at this, and the net is a joke. When I saw the coach from High Point making his remarks about, you know, we can't get anybody to play us after they got that victory against Wisconsin. By the way, Wisconsin didn't play poorly. I mean, they didn't choke like North Carolina. They played well. High Point was just that good. But the issue here really isn't about the Power 4, Power 5 conference coaches not wanting to play them. The issue here is the net, which used to be the ratings percentage index. They substituted it with the net. Well, the net was something that was put together by guess who? The power conferences, so that they could get 11, 12, 13 teams out of the conferences that have, you know, so many members, whether it's 16 or 18 or whatever the number might be. That's got to be solved. We got to fix that. I think that the issue here isn't so much the economics of the power programs versus the mid-majors. It's the fact that the net will only reward the chosen, and the chosen are in those big conferences. And I think that's who the beef should be with for that coach, as opposed to, you know, the other coaches at the Power 4, because economics of intercollegiate athletics are what they are. And schools, you know, there's no way a Wisconsin is going to go to High Point to play a game. It's not going to happen. So that again, the National Association of Basketball Coaches, when they meet at the convention at the Final Four, they need to discuss these kinds of things. And I'll tell you something else we need to do, Bob. We need to get rid of these god-awful tournaments, round-robin, made-for-metrics matchups that ESPN is putting together in early November. You know, they're playing in the Bahamas, you know, so they can get intersectional games to be played. You know, sometime probably next year, they'll be live from Abu Dhabi here in the UAE. We're gonna be playing games, and the basketball season beginning that early in early November. No one's paying attention. We're in the middle of football season, college and pro. We need to move the calendar back on basketball. We need to start the season after Thanksgiving. No games should be played until after Thanksgiving. And we should end the season a couple of weeks later than we currently do. College football needs to move its calendar up and start playing before week 0 was last year. We need to start playing in the second week or maybe 15 days into August. And we need to finish the season at or around New Year's Day. So you're not having to go up against NFL wild card and divisional playoff games. And we need to, from a basketball standpoint, stop with this myth that we must be through with the Final Four by the time the azaleas have bloomed in Augusta National. Okay? That is a dated thought process. We should be playing college basketball all the way up through the 1st of April and into the second week of April. Because the calendar just dies after that. When you think about it, after we've had opening day, how long before baseball fans really begin to engage? Right, we got a really soft month of late April into May. We really do in the sports world, and the college game, college basketball could cash in. We could make the regular season more important. Right now, college basketball doesn't get the attention it deserves because of the calendar. Sports calendar is just too congested, and now it's just a tournament sport. I remember a time when it wasn't as congested, and people knew who these players were before Selection Sunday came around.
Yeah.
Now most people don't. They don't know who unless you're a blue blood program, most people just don't know who's got what, you know, until the NCAA tournament starts.
Tim, always great to talk to you, my friend. Really appreciate you cutting out time as always. I know this is a busy time of year for you, so thank you so much, and have fun out there. Enjoy the tournament, and we look forward to talking again, my friend.
Well, thank you, man. You know, this is taking me back not only our days of radio, but in addition to that, you know, reminding me of, you know, somebody that still wants to talk to my ass, even if I'm not doing the tournament anymore.
You're always on the list. You're always a go-to guy for us, Tim. I appreciate you, man.
All right. right, Bob. Say hello to everybody in Seattle for me, including Rabel, all right?
All right. Thanks, buddy. There you go. There's Tim Brando, Fox Sports broadcaster. I've never met anybody in my life that loves college sports more than Tim Brando.
Yeah.
He lives and dies with college football, college basketball. That's his world. So good to catch up with him. If you guys didn't catch all of that conversation, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page at seattlesports.com. After the show, just click the podcast tab, click on our picture. It'll be right there waiting for you. And you can click subscribe, totally free. That way you don't have to worry about remembering. It just shows up for you. Meanwhile, a list like this always generates some passionate debate, and we're going to dive into a big one involving the Mariners. That's coming up next with Wyman and Bob. It's Seattle Sports on 710.
Breaking news this morning from ESPN.
Is it finally happening?
Good golly, Miss Molly.
ESPN's Shams Charania, the NBA, will vote next week to explore adding expansion teams in Vegas and Seattle. Joining us now, Shams himself.
The NBA is projecting that both Seattle and Las Vegas would immediately jump into the top 8 of revenue-generating teams.
Stay caught up on the latest at seattlesports.com and Seattle Sports on 710, the app, and YouTube.
Flying chickens in a barnyard.
Aetna was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Your old water heater's starting to peter. DayandNight.net. Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net. Don't miss 3 Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League Baseball.
This could be 2. JP has it, goes to the bag, steps on second, fires to first, double play.
Broadcast times at seattlesports.com.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages, but now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Our thanks to Tim Brando of Fox Sports, who joined us in the previous segment. If you guys just tuned in and missed that conversation, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Meanwhile, Seattle Times unveiled their all-time Mariner team today. And they went position by position. So see what you agree with, see what you guys disagree with. You guys can text in on this, 866-979-3776. We'll start at catcher. Who do you think they went with, Dave?
Dan Wilson.
No, Miguel Olivo. I'm just kidding. Cal Raleigh. Cal Raleigh is the catcher. Again, this is the Seattle Times all-time Mariner team. So they go Cal Raleigh at catcher. First base. To me, there's only two spots that I've seen much debate about. This is one of them. First base, Mr. Mariner, Alvin Davis. Saw a lot of people making the case for John Olerud.
Yeah.
Second base, they went with Brett Boone. I would have gone with Robinson Cano, and that would seem to be a lot of people felt the same way.
Robinson Cano just made everything look so easy.
Yeah.
So smooth. I think that was the most impressive. There was never a panic. And really, I mean, you see even when he like dove for grounders or line drives or whatever, it always looked like it was very like nonchalant, like he just made it easy.
Yeah. He was very smooth.
Which just speaks to his range, but also just, he was just so, it was like he was able to slow the game down.
Yeah. He would have been my choice there. I loved watching him play. And everybody talks about that deal. Oh, horrible deal. No, you got the best out of him. Mm-hmm. Once you shipped him off, that's when things fell apart for Cano. He got a career high here at 39 home runs. Was a clubhouse leader. He was everything you didn't know he would be with his team. It didn't result in the playoffs because that was, part of the drought, but he was a heck of a player for him.
Mm-hmm.
Then you move to third base, Kyle Seager. Shortstop, Alex Rodriguez. Left field, now this is the spot that you've just never had the guy. You've had guys, they put Raul Ibanez. You could have gone Mark McLemore. You could have gone, it's like kind of a hodgepodge of guys. You just never had the Griffey, the Buhner, the Ichiro, just the stud out there.
Where was Jesse Winker on that list? You think?
I don't know that he was eligible to be voted on. Okay. I don't know that he was part of their group that they were voting
Just
on.
Kidding.
Oh.
Well, and center and right field are pretty much no-brainers.
Yeah, they didn't go. What people were complaining about, I saw in the comments, is they should have just gone outfielders rather than specifically left field, center field, right field, because they would have put Julio out there with Griffey, or they would have put Jay Buhner in there.
Mm-hmm.
But Griffey gets the center field nod, obviously.
Yeah.
Right field, Ichiro gets the nod.
Of course.
DH, obviously it's going to be Edgar.
Yeah.
So those are your position players for the all-time Mariner team. Now your rotation is Felix is the 1, Randy Johnson, 2. Jamie Moyer, number 3. Mark Langston, 4. Freddie Garcia, 5. How about that?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I Mark Langston, I really don't remember. But you look at Jamie Moyer. I mean, he's just an all-timer, and just no velo whatsoever. But he was just a master. I think he's the one that I admire the most, just because he didn't really have that.
No, he had a changeup. Changeup off of a soft tosser.
Right.
Usually think of a changeup being really effective with a guy who's throwing high 90s, triple digits, and then he's going to hit you with 90, and it looks like it's going 40. Right, that disparity in speed. But here's a guy Jimmy Moyer had arc on his pitch. He's throwing like 84, and then he'd throw a changeup, and you'd have the guys looking silly up there. It was just crazy what he was able to do. So that's your rotation. The bullpen, they go with Andres Munoz, Kaz Sasaki, Edwin Diaz, Jeff Nelson, J.J. Putz, and Arthur Rhodes. And then bench players, you got on the bench, you got Dan Wilson, you got Julio, you got Jay Buhner, Nelson Cruz, John Olerud, Mike Cameron, and your manager's Lou Piniella.
Yeah, that sounds about right. 10 years, 15 years from now, how many guys that we have right now in the rotation do you think are on this list? I mean,
that are in there right now, I'd say Logan.
If Kirby stays, here, I mean, I think we've always assumed that he wants to be somewhere else. I don't know that that's the case. But, you got Logan, you got Wu, possibly Bryce Miller.
Yeah, and then you got
stay healthy.
The young guys behind him, and Sloan, and you're talking 15 years from now. Maybe we're talking Cade Anderson and Ryan Sloan.
Would love that.
I mean, I could see some of these names being moved off of there because, you've got what you've got now hasn't even reached its peak yet. Mm-hmm. Logan Gilbert is not at his peak yet, nor is George Kirby or Brian Wu or Bryce Miller. We'll see where, I don't know that all 4 of them become legends, but boy, they've got great stuff. And then you got the guys behind them, as we just said. So yeah, it looks really, really good. But I'm curious, from Mariner fans, what do you think? Is there a travesty there? Is there a great disrespect to a specific player that should have been the ones that I saw, like I said, were people thought it should have just been outfield and not specific to center, right and left. That way Buhner gets in there or Julio gets in there. And then second base and first base were the ones that most people were saying, I would have put Olerud. I love Alvin Davis, Mr. Mariner, but I would have put Olerud or I would have put Cano at second. That's where all the debate seemed to be.
Yeah, isn't Alvin Davis he's up on when we go to spring training, mm-hmm. they have the all-time, I don't know if they're Hall of Famers or whatever, but you look at he's up on that that wall, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's part of that. I mean, he's Mr. Mariner.
Yeah.
So it's not. I don't know. I don't have a hardcore disagreement with him being there. But Olerud was a hell of a player. Mm-hmm. Hell of a player. Somebody said Norm Charlton, the sheriff, should have been in there. That's fair. Was he not in there? No. Munoz, Sasaki, Diaz, Nelson, Putz, Rhodes. Yeah. Norm Charlton. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's an omission. Felix over Langston. Well, they did have Felix over Langston. They had Felix as your 1, and Randy Johnson as the 2. So yeah, it went. In case you missed that, it was Felix, Randy, Moyer, Langston, Garcia.
Yeah,
is how your rotation went.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, they've had so many great outfield. Like you've had 3 phenomenal center fielders, and now 4 with Julio. But you had Griffey, obviously. The guy that replaced him, and Mike Cameron, was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Franklin Gutierrez is Dave Niehaus used to say, death to flying things out there. I mean, he was fantastic. He didn't have the longevity, obviously.
Always hurt.
But he was a phenomenal player, phenomenal defensive player out there. So they've had some tremendous center fielders, obviously Ichiro and Buhner and Wright, 2 legends there. Left field's kind of the black hole. He just never really had that good, with all due respect to Ibanez and McLemore and everybody else that's played in left field. Shane Monahan, the legends. It's interesting. So check that out. People saying Cano was he was not a head. What are you talking about? Somebody, the 206 says Cano was a head case.
Really?
Based on what?
Yeah.
That guy was
To be fair, Bob, they said Canoe was the head coach. So maybe that's what they meant.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think people develop an image of a player, sort of like DK, and then it just becomes true.
Right.
They just think, nah, he's this guy. And it just doesn't matter what the facts are. Cano, by all accounts, was a tremendous clubhouse guy while he was here. And as productive as he had ever been in his career. Again, career high in home runs while playing at T-Mobile.
Yeah.
39 home runs. And he produced while he was here. He was a leader out there. He posted. I'm not sure what I know it fell apart, but that was after he left here.
Yeah, if you want to go with sentimentality, I think for me, Felix is the one guy that I feel like should have had more, appearances. I mean, basically he, wasn't part of any kind of a winning team.
He was never made it to the postseason.
Yeah, and he was always a guy that would hang around after an interview, and he was always in a good mood. He loved the fans, and just, I really wanted him to experience the playoffs. And, and then there were some guys that, like Jay Buhner, I love Jay Buhner now, but like at the time from the stories I heard and, that he wasn't the greatest with the media.
He could be a challenge.
Yeah. Kyle Seager was kind of that way too.
Kyle started out great.
He would kind of take it, or he got stung, I think, by some of the things that were written about him.
Him and Ackley were both really, they were kind of quiet guys when they both came up, and I remember it was Brendan Ryan was the shortstop, and he used to kind of, in a good-natured way, tease him, like, come on, man, spice it up. I was in there interviewing Kyle one day, and he was like, come on, put some El Tapatio on that, put some hot sauce on it. And Kyle's just looking at him like, okay. He's just a kid. But yeah, he kind of grew to be a little guarded, a little jaded, if you will, but tremendous player. Tremendous player. But there you go. That's the Seattle Times list of the all-time Mariner list. Check it out. See what you think. You guys can weigh in on that. You agree, disagree with their selections there. Meanwhile, news of the Sonics' pending return has sparked some frustration among some of those in the NBA circles. All of those people land on our Why-Man of the Week. It's coming your way next with Wyman and Bob. Seattle Sports on 710.
Having one of those days where a little of this would make things so much better?
Fastball, strike three called. He got him looking. How about that for a Cactus League debut? Cade Anderson striking out the side.
We got you. You can stream every Mariners spring training game live for free on the Seattle Sports app. Making lives better through Mariners baseball, one
goodbye baseball
at a time. Home of your American League West champion Mariners.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Swedish Cyberknife, and for local men recently diagnosed with prostate cancer, several treatment options are available. And I recently had the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Robert Meyer. He's a multiple-time recipient of the Seattle Top Doctor Award. And we spoke about the great work being done by Swedish Cyberknife. And Dr. Meyer said patients experience fewer side effects compared with other treatments, and the Cyberknife treatment is complete after only 5 sessions, each lasting less than an hour. So patients are treating their prostate cancer in only 1 week with minimal interruption to their lives. Many don't even take time off work to undergo treatment, and the Cyberknife targets the prostate cancer only, sparing vital surrounding organs. Swedish has been offering the Cyberknife treatment here in Seattle for over 10 years and treated over 1,000 prostate cancer patients, some of them listening right now. So if you're diagnosed with prostate cancer, learn more about Cyberknife for prostate cancer treatment at swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696. And we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696. And manage your diabetes as easy as...
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Get broadcast times for every Three Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League broadcast.
Holy smokes, he does it again!
At seattlesports.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Well, this is pretty fun for me. Normally, Shannon O'Kelly and I are talking physical therapy, but today we are talking First Mark Insurance. You made the call to First Mark. You took the challenge. Why?
Brock, I was looking for a local agency that I could align with similar values, and they've helped us here at IRG. They shop different plans. They find the best plan for you, the best price, the best coverage, great customer service, and great connectivity.
Did they save you any money along the way?
Absolutely, they saved us money. Obviously, here at IRG, I have several needs in the insurance industry, and they look at those needs A to Z, and they find out what kind of coverage you need, what is the best coverage, at what cost, and they're always looking to save money. And again, it's all about providing my company, IRG, great customer service.
Well, Shannon and IRG, they took the challenge. Molly and I, we took the challenge. Are you confident that your business is getting the very best when it comes to your insurance needs? If not, take the First Mark Challenge today, and it's totally free. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com, your teammate that goes to work for you. Firstmarkinsurance.com.
Whatever's on your schedule this season, Toyota of Kirkland has your ride. With Tacomas, Tundras, and 4Runners from Toyota of Kirkland. Built for power, capability, and room for all your gear. These models are the perfect teammate for the Northwest adventure. Any of them. Take a test drive today and drive home with your new Toyota that same day. Get your season rolling at Toyota of Kirkland or online at toyotaofkirkland.com. That's toyotaofkirkland.com.
O'Brien.
Tell me why. Why, man? Why?
Lunch has been canceled today due to lack of hustle. Deal with it.
He's a habitual line stepper. What were you thinking? What are you doing?
Why are you the way that you are?
It's the Why Man of the Week.
It is time for Why Man, which is presented by Mazda of Everett, and we certainly spent some time talking about the return of the Seattle Supersonics, which feels like an inevitability, that it's just a matter of, crossing T's, dotting I's, finding a buyer, and it'll all be good. But there are a couple of people weighing in on it. We played that Mo ran Stephen A. Smith and his remarks. Mm-hmm. Of course, they were dumb. He had them. But Bill Simmons is on the apparently on the left go right here, the anti-expansion train, because he believes that it's going to dilute too much of the talent level. Now, I haven't heard this clip, but just on the surface, that's one I wouldn't take personally. If that's just more about the talent throughout the league, and do you have enough to support 2 more teams? Here's what he had to say about it.
I've had people say to me like, hey, Simmons, you're the one saying how deep the league is. Why wouldn't you want expansion? Here's why I don't want expansion, because we have 9 teams that don't give a right now in a 30-team league. The last thing we need to do is add 2 more teams that don't give a shit. They either need to fix the don't give a shit part about the 82-game season, or they need to relocate 2 teams and do that as an expansion. I cannot accept, as somebody who loves basketball, I cannot accept adding 2 expansion teams and having 11 tanking teams 3 seasons from now instead of 9. I just don't see how that's a good product. I don't see how that helps anybody. If they do this, it's a money grab. And they can say it's like more jobs for everybody. Okay, cool. This is a money grab. This is going to make the league worse. I will plant my flag in that.
See, that's one I don't take as a shot at Seattle or Vegas. He's just talking about the league in general. Now, I don't know which teams he's referring to, and I guess the flaw in that for me on the surface would be he's automatically under the assumption that the 2 new teams would be tanking.
Right. Right. They would be those,
Yeah, you're going to add, he says there's 9 teams, so now you're going to have 11 teams that are tanking. Why would they automatically tank? Just because he thinks that they're going to try to do that to get high-round draft picks and build their franchise that way? I don't see it. Maybe it would happen. I don't know. I can't imagine whoever buys the team in Seattle or in Vegas, for that matter, is going to attack it that way.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it really doesn't make sense. But he's talking about the 9 team, because at first I was like, okay, 2 and there's 30 teams and you're going to add 2. Is that really diluting? But like you said, I don't have no idea who those teams are, but who would start off a franchise that way?
Yeah, you want
to prove them right, that they did the right thing.
Yeah, you want excitement. You want your product to be appealing to the masses because you want it to get off to a great start, have that building packed, give the city a reason, the fan base a reason to be excited and buy the merch and come to the games and buy the concessions and pay for parking. You don't do that by going, well, what we're going to do is going to really stink it up for the first few years. We're really going to just lay an egg.
Yeah.
And that building's probably going to be half full because it is an expensive ticket. It seems like a poor business plan, and that does not seem like reality to me. Yeah. It's not maybe it's different if you're an established franchise and you've got a foothold in that city, and you might have some grace with a fan base for a year or 2 if you stink it up. But as an expansion team, intentionally doing that, that doesn't make any sense. Entry number 2 comes courtesy of the Hibachi, Gilbert Arenas. Apparently, he's got Gil's Arena podcast. That's what it's called, of course. And he said Seattle doesn't have the money to support an NBA franchise.
The problem with the thought of this is this. The economy is always the problem with the professional, especially for NBA. The lack of what you can do because of city size. Small market teams, because of the economy that it's in, have a problem with keeping their players, getting outbid. So Seattle getting a team, I don't know, man. I mean, listen, I know they had one. It was great. They loved it there.
That was my favorite team.
It was a booming place for basketball there.
For sure.
But times have changed, right? Times have changed. Like, are you going to be able to afford the players and keep your players? There's new things that have evolved in this game. There's new money, bigger money.
Who's moaning in the background?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was Brock for a second.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. They can't afford players. They can't. Look, anybody who buys this team is going to have the financial wherewithal to field a team. Right. And that's something that the league is going to vet. They're going to vet the finances of the owner or owners, if it's an ownership group or whatever it is. That they're not going to bring in an owner who's living paycheck to paycheck, so to speak, and can't afford players. I mean, what does he think is going to happen? I don't understand his point. And Seattle's not a small market. Vegas is a smaller market. Seattle, depending on what year you look at him, is 11, 12, 13th market in the U.S. So I'm not sure he's misinformed.
Yeah, and there's plenty of money up here. I didn't get that. I did hear you guys talking about. I think it was on the way to the airport where you guys were talking about people who were texting in as to whether or not you would support the Sonics.
Right. Yeah.
And there were people that were so bitter about it that they said they wouldn't.
Yeah,
I just find that hard to believe.
Yeah, I feel like most people, when it became reality, like the team is here and hey, game 1 is coming up and you see the merch, you see that. I think there'd be a lot of people that would soften their stance, but I think there's probably a group that would stick to it and go, no, I'm not going. And that's fine because there's somebody there to take their place.
Yeah.
There's a completely different generation of people that didn't get the opportunity to watch the Sonics, maybe when they were old enough to understand what was going on with that team and would be excited about an NBA team in the city. So that building will be packed. Now, whether it's packed with new fans, a mix of old and new, it's probably going to be the latter, a mix of old and new, because I think there will be some people that did get turned off by the fact the team got ripped out of the city. And we had a lot of people saying, I just hate the brand of basketball that's played. I hate the way they play now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You don't have to go. I bet they'll be quietly paying attention, though, especially if the team's good. They'll be watching the standings and going, oh, my goodness, playoff team, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I don't see anything other than just people celebrating and just, packing that place. So, yeah, it's kind of an odd, like you're mad at that. You're mad at the people that took the NBA away, but here's a new product. It's new people, new guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
most people
why
are
not
gone
support
too, by the way.
Yeah. Right.
David Stern is no longer with us.
Mm-hmm.
Howard Schultz has moved out of town.
Yeah.
And Clay Bennett is in Oklahoma City. So those people are gone.
Right.
So yeah,
it's not like you're lining their pockets.
No. So it's it'll be, when it happens, that building will be rocking. It will be met with great fanfare, and it will be a very big deal for the city. All right, outside of running back, just how much work do the Seahawks need to do in order to get other position groups back to that Super Bowl level, that Super Bowl caliber? We're going to get into that next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
9 out of 10 experts agree wearing earbuds at work is the universal signal for leave me alone. So grab the earbuds, pull up the Seattle Sports app, and trade that annoying coworker's endless yapping for this.
He's at the wall. Cal Raleigh's first one of the spring.
Listen to every Mariners spring training game live for free, only on the Seattle Sports app. Improving lives through Mariners baseball, one
sparkling play by Josh Naylor
at a time.
High five. Up top.
Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Heck yeah!
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Yes!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Ink card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Ink Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Do you need a new roof? Then trust your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing to get you taken care of this spring. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and secure $500 off your roof replacement. Right now, you can still take advantage of spring pricing and beat the summer rush. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
The best path at that point was to stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier.
The LJ way.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The countdown is on.
6 days until opening day next Thursday against the Guardians at T-Mobile Park on the home of the American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports. KIRO AM Seattle. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Taking a look at your tournament scoreboard. Just one game going on right now. Iowa out to an 8-4 lead over 8-seed Clemson. That one with 15:47 left in the first. Meanwhile, some of the finals from earlier today. 1-seed Arizona taking out Long Island University 92-58. It was the 2-seed Iowa State over 15-seed Tennessee State 108-74. 3-seed Virginia over 14-seed Wright State 82-73 the final. It was 90-70. 4-seed Alabama taking out the 13th-seed Hofstra. 91-71 was the final in the 5-12 matchup between Texas Tech and Akron. Texas Tech gets the win there. 78-56. 6-seed Tennessee over Miami of Ohio. In overtime, Kentucky got it done against Santa Clara. That was a 7-10 matchup. 89-84 the final there. And an upset as far as seeding goes, the 9-seed Utah State took out 8-seed Villanova 86-76.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Coming up at 4:30, our Mariners insider Shannon Drayer will join us on the program, so stay tuned for that conversation. We still have mean texts coming up at 5:45. You can get those going at 866-979-3776. Meanwhile, taking a look, we've talked a lot about the running back spot for the Seattle Seahawks and concerns, lack of concern, what are they going to do there? But looking at the other position groups, Dave, if you were going to rank them from most confident to least confident. I know you like to start at the bottom and work your way up.
Which way are we going?
We're going to start with your most confident. The position group, we can go, quarterback, running back, tight end, O-line. We can go all position groups.
Yeah.
Rank them. Which one are you most confident in right now?
Defensive line, and really just exclusively because we have a category here for edge. But, you look at those guys on the inside, Jaron Reed, and, of course, Big Cat and Byron Murphy. I just felt like those guys were the centerpiece of this entire team, really. I mean, those guys were so solid. And then you got Jaron Reed as a backup, Brandon Peely, and then, you got the...
Would you put Hall as an interior guy, or he's more edge?
Yeah, he's more edge.
He's kind of both, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't play inside that much. So, yeah, he's mostly on the edge. But the other guy, Riley Mills, when I almost said this during it, I didn't want to get too cocky during the Super Bowl, but when he got that sack, and I think it was midway through the second quarter, I was like, we're going to win this game.
Yeah.
I mean, he just bench pressed that guard. And I think he was a fourth rounder, a third rounder, the guard. And I think Riley was a fourth or fifth rounder. And I'm like, both rookies, and we just crushed it there. And as far as, bench pressing a guy who's 325 pounds, reaching over and grabbing Drake May, who's probably 230, and just throwing him to the ground. I mean, there is a lot of potential in that kid. So, yeah, you look at first and second string. If your second string is Jaron Reed and Riley Mills, you can win with that.
Yeah, it's hard to argue D-line because they were the most consistent element of this team all season long. So give me the rest of the position groups in terms of most confident to least confident. So you got D-line number one. Work your way down.
Yeah, so the next, actually, I would say quarterback. Honestly. Yeah, I would go QB, and then you look at wide receiver. Probably number 3, just because of JSN, and he is so good. Obviously you hope that Horton is going to make it back, and we lost Bobo and Derek Young, but I like that position. I'm hoping that we're able to stay healthy there, but yeah, I mean, JSN.
You got Rashid Shaheed and Cooper Kupp there as well.
Yeah, so I mean that's where, yeah, I feel like that's number 3 there. Number 4, I think I had tight end.
Yeah.
Just because, you got Eric Saubert. We call him Sabi. I know you don't like calling him that, Bob.
His friends call him Sabi.
His friends, me and Lefko.
Yeah, I'm not his friend.
Yeah. But, yeah, I just think A.J. Barner he's going to be one of those premier type of George Kittle type of players throughout his career. So I really like the tight end position. But, there's a couple that were kind of weird, as far as you put like defensive backs, which did Mike put these? Cornerbacks.
He's got cornerback safety separated there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I really think that, you look at corner and you go, okay, a lot of people maybe not super confident with Josh Jobe. You lost Reek Woolen, but you also have Spoon. To play out there. So, I don't know. That one, same thing with inside linebacker. I was kind of, back and forth there. But, I think the next one, to answer the question, would be edge. And that's with keeping, you hope that...
you hope D-Law's back.
D-Law's back. You've got Derek Hall. They find a way to keep Uchenna there. You did lose Boye Mafe, but I just think you got 3 to play 2 there. And, those are 3 really good players there. So, yeah, I like edge next, and then... Where are we at? You
still have O-line. You still have safety.
Yeah, and safety, that's an interesting one because you lost Kobe Bryant. Kind of falls into the same category as cornerback, but you still have Julian Love and Nicky Manwari.
Yeah.
I mean, those are 2 really good players. And I think a lot of people saw that as a loss, losing Kobe Bryant. But, I mean, you still have those 2 guys. So that one... corner, because it includes Witherspoon, and then inside backer, you're kind of like, that's Ernest Jones, right?
Yeah.
And
Tyrese Knight.
Yeah, I mean, so those guys are pretty solid, but
the Drake,
you kind of wonder about the Drake. I mean, I think he's a really good player, but I don't think he's great. So, he would kind of fall into that same category as safety and cornerback, that you still have, some really good players. But, and I think probably most people have this as the 2 weakest, and I would say offensive line and running back is last.
I feel like I've got a lot more confidence in the O-line. than I have in the past. And I know Bradford's a hit and miss guy, and it's always glorious one way or the other. He's either pancaking somebody or he's passing out. But it's better just over. I thought they played really well toward the end of the season, certainly the Super Bowl, and Ken Walker was living proof of that, in that he didn't do it all on his own. He had some help from the line and others blocking for him. But, yeah, I'd put the O-line a little higher, I think. Running back for me is the most uncertain. Yeah. I think that's everybody. It's just it doesn't mean it's going to be bad. It's just as we sit currently, it's the most uncertain. Yeah. But D-line is easily the most confident.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And that was the team. I mean, when you think about the core of this team and what they were about, those were the leaders also.
Yeah.
You know,
I think I might have tight end a little higher too. I love Barner. I know you love him, but I think I feel like he could be we talk about the left fielder for the Mariners. They've never had the guy.
Yeah.
The Seahawks have never had the guy at tight end.
He is the guy.
He feels like he could be that guy. Zach Miller felt like it, but he turned into a de facto O-lineman because they needed him to be. He was a really good player. But as far as production, I mean, we've said it a million times, Jimmy Graham is the all-time leader at that position for this franchise.
Yeah.
So I think when it's said and done, Barner's the guy.
You would put tight end ahead of wide receiver?
I think I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm betting on the potential of Arroyo. I love Barner. And
Saubert is really solid. Yeah. I mean, and not just because he caught the game-winning 2-point conversion. I mean, he was just so instrumental in the run game, a really good blocker. So yeah, I could see that when you look at wide receiver, and we don't really know about Shaheed, but we really know about JSN.
Yeah, to me, you've got one certainty, and you've got Cooper Kupp, who's but he's not Cooper Kupp of old.
Right.
So you're certain as who he is as a mentor, as a veteran, but in terms of production, you got one certainty. You got potential, certainly. Shaheed and Horton, huge potential, but you don't know. So, I'd put the tight ends above them. But you guys can text in on that, 866-979-3776. Meanwhile, the NBA will address some of the concerns by the anti-expansion crowd. We're going to hear about that when we sweep the dial. Coming up with Wyman and Bob, it's Seattle Sports on 710.
Breaking news this morning from ESPN.
Is it finally happening?
Good golly, Miss Molly.
ESPN's Shams Charania, the NBA, will vote next week to explore adding expansion teams in Vegas and Seattle. Joining us now, Shams himself.
The NBA is projecting that both Seattle and Las Vegas would immediately jump into the top 8 of revenue-generating teams.
Stay caught up on the latest at seattlesports.com and Seattle Sports on 710, the app, and YouTube.
Flying chickens in a barnyard.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Harley Exteriors. It's funny how you get used to things in not so ideal of a condition around the house. And for some people, it's a messy garage or a leaning fence. And for me, it was old windows. After 20 years in our home, virtually every window had a broken seal. And so we got used to the cold drafts and outside noises and condensation. And if you're in that same boat, use this spring to say goodbye to the old dreary windows in your home and hello to your new exclusive windows from Harley Exteriors. They have the spring cleaning sale to complete your home makeover right now. Buy 10 windows and choose from either 20% off your entire project or a free door. And on top of that, make 0 payments and accumulate 0 interest for up to 12 months for qualified buyers. Harley Exteriors windows are a massive upgrade, manufactured right here in the Pacific Northwest, and they're exclusive to Harley Exteriors. They're good people, too. Also, I've really enjoyed working with them. So give them a call at 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com and schedule your free consultation and get a bid from Harley. That's harleyexteriors.com.
Imagine all that can happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes are going to come out, but what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price never changed for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most. that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats. You get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices and no one battling for bandwidth. For the next 5 years, all your devices will be working in perfect harmony, and you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings attached. So even though kids will grow up and you still won't understand 6-7, your internet's going to stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi, all with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions do apply. Select plans only.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
Hey, John, why so glum? I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Don't miss Three Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League Baseball.
This could be 2. JP has it, goes to the bag, steps on second, fires to first, double play.
Broadcast times at seattlesports.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
Did you know that most people wait 6 or 7 years before they buy a new TV? That's a lot of time in front of one TV. So why not get one of the best sets for the next 7 years, like one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony models? Too expensive? What if you could get up to $1,000 trade-in for your old set? Who would do a stupid deal like this? Right now, at Video Only, you can get big bucks for your old set as a trade-in and a hot price on the new models. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Scanning the airwaves for the most interesting and entertaining stories of the day. Sweeping the dial. Every afternoon at 4:45 with Wyman and Bob.
Presented by Silver Reef Casino Resort.
Yesterday, the Mariners announced Logan Gilbert would be their opening day starter. Here was Dan Wilson on how they came to that decision.
As we've done a lot in the past, we pulled all of them in, and you know, obviously these are difficult decisions, and every one of those guys is a number one, but you know, just where we are right now in spring, and you know, Logan was you know, the guy that is slated for that, and so being able to tell all of them together, I think this is, you know, as we've talked about the group of them together, how they relate to each other, it's, you know. It was great to have them all in there together.
Don't you see them all being happy? If they're all in the room when he made that announcement, I could see them all just slapping him on the back and being happy for him. That's just the seems to be the demeanor of those guys.
Yeah, even Kirby. I think Kirby, gets kind of the rap of being like the moody guy or whatever. But you've seen how he acts around Adam Ray.
Yeah, I certainly have.
And I'm sure he's a great teammate. He's just not one of those guys. And Brian Woo's kind of becoming that guy too. But where he's a little bit more serious. But it sounds like in Dan's voice there that it's like the least of his worries.
Yeah, and I think that's well-founded. I mean, you've talked to those guys. I've talked to them. I know we keep saying it, and you bring it up, how people think it's hokey. It is a great group. It not just the rotation, but the rotation in this conversation. It's just a kind of a selfless group. And I think last year's story about Castillo being maybe more excited than Gilbert when they named him the opening day starter, and how excited he was for him, man. That's a great teammate.
Sweeping the dial.
Just a few minutes ago, we heard a lot of concern from Bill Simmons about some tanking in the NBA. Well, fortunately, they were talking about that on ESPN, where Shams Charania was saying, look, the league's going to do
How do you say his name?
I only could say it once. I had to just repeat it.
I just noticed you tried to blow through it like a stop sign.
I think whatever summoned up there, I won't say it again.
Shams Charania,
That, you know what's funny? I do that when we're calling games. If there's a difficult name, I'll be like, what's his name, Rabes? Yeah, that was good, Mike.
Shams, as he's known by among us, he says there'll be some definitive action by the league to cut down on tanking.
They're going to address the tanking situation and come up with anti-tanking rules and draft lottery reform as soon as this summer. Like, this is a process that is underway. Adam Silver has been defiant behind the scenes that he wants to come up with a solution. He has told the NBA teams themselves that there will be change coming as soon as next season. So that's next season. This expansion could be as soon as 2028, 29. So I think the league wants to get that in order before even expansion.
Good. If that's what's going on in the league, I mean, talk about horrible for your product in any league. Team intentionally tanking to try to, get into the lottery, get the highest draft pick out there available that they can, I guess, rebuild their franchise. But, putting your fan base through that, and NBA is not a cheap product. Yeah. That is not a cheap ticket. So I feel for those season ticket holders that are watching a team that is actually out there intentionally trying to tank the season. I mean, that is brutal.
Makes you wonder how they get anybody in the stands, if that's the thing that's going on. Is it you look at Major League Baseball, Pittsburgh always comes to mind.
Yeah.
Is it St. Louis? Is that another one that was kind of not investing in their...
Oh, no, St. Louis, it's religion. Baseball is religion. It was the A's. A's wouldn't invest in their product at
Reds.
all.
The Reds, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sweeping the dial.
I knew it was a red team, Mike.
Yes, it was. It was a red team.
I wish it were the Red Sox. Yeah, that's right. You heard me, Ian.
Ian.
We're going to be good this year.
Sure you are.
Well, yeah, Ian's here because Matt went home to watch the rest of March Madness, as he was so excited about. But this was the early game. The final 10 seconds of Kentucky-Santa Clara. 8 points scored in the final 10 seconds of regulation, ending the half-court three of Kentucky to send the game to overtime.
Chandler gets it to Oway. The spin elevates, lays it in, and we're tied. Spirinelli sit on it to Santa Clara. This is Gavin Graves elevates. Buries it. 2.4 away. He got it. Otega Oway has just etched his name in the March Madness lore.
Pretty crazy.
Oway might be my favorite player in the tournament now, just because, like I said afterwards, he was like, I was just trying to get it close. But he also had that spinning drive.
Yeah.
That tied it up, right?
Yeah.
And then
he had a couple of big blocks. I mean, he took over in the second half.
Yeah.
You miss Gus Johnson on a call like that?
Yes, I miss prime Gus Johnson. He's lost it a little bit. It's tapered off. I don't know if he would have been able to deliver.
You don't think he's got his fastball anymore?
No, he doesn't.
Back when he called the Isaiah Thomas shot.
That's one of the greatest calls ever. Yeah.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, I was trying to think of it, and I think it was a tournament game when Christian Laettner had the turnaround jumper at the top of the key against Kentucky.
Yeah.
Actually. And I was trying to think of a bigger moment than that, because I made everybody in the house come and watch this. And, and everybody was cheering when the Santa Clara kid, hit the three. And I'm like, wait for it. And, it just got louder. It was just, that was one of my favorite moments in any tournament that I've seen.
We had Tyus Edney going end to end. He had the drive at UCLA.
Right.
Yeah, there have been some big moments, certainly. But, Gus.
In that situation, I think, do you remember the case of Santa Clara's shot getting erased quickly? Do you remember the 2016 national title game? So North Carolina comes down, hits this insane tying three, and then seconds later, Villanova wins national title. Remember, they bring the ball up court, flip it back, top of the key, three-pointer to win the title.
Yeah, it's been some good moments. That's what it's all about, man. I love that, and just the reaction in the building just kind of gave you chills a little bit.
Oh yeah, to hear the building just explode like that is awesome. All right, coming up, what's the mood been like around the Mariners now that the entire team is back in camp? We'll check in with our Mariners insider, Shannon Drayer. She'll clear up everything that's going on out there as we are 6 days away from opening day out here in Seattle. That is coming up next with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
Having one of those days where a little of this would make things so much better?
Fastball, strike three called. He got him looking. How about that for a Cactus League debut? Cade Anderson striking out the side.
We got you. You can stream every Mariners spring training game live for free on the Seattle Sports app. Making lives better through Mariners baseball, one
goodbye baseball
at a time. Home of your American League West champion Mariners.
Spring is here, Seattle, and now is the smartest time to replace your roof. Trust your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing, a local, family-owned company that knows how to roof in Washington weather year-round. Schedule your free estimate today at 3treeroofing.com to take advantage of spring pricing, shorter wait times, and get $500 off your new roof before the summer rush hits. Our experts come to you, build a clear plan, and give you an estimate that same day. No surprises and no high-pressure sales tactics. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we perform an 18-point maintenance check with every oil change to help make sure you're good to go.
And?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Wonder why the dealership isn't that easy.
Well, we'd let you know if we found something in our check.
Oh, great. That was easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Quick, thorough, and honest. Come with no charge.
Get broadcast times for every Three Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League broadcast.
Holy smokes, he does it again!
At seattlesports.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Six days away, Dave. We'll be watching the Mariners from, we'll be at T-Mobile Park.
Seems like just last week we were down at spring training, staying at Shannon's house.
It does seem that way. It's weird. As a matter of fact, we've got her to relive all of the glory with us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Our Mariners insider, Shannon Drayer, is here with us. How are you, Shannon? Do you miss us?
Oh, terribly. You know that.
Didn't we leave a bunch of food there and stuff for you? Are you packing away those cinnamon sugar pretzels and?
I don't like those.
Oh no, those are really good. All right.
I took the 2 yogurts. Those were nice. Good job with those.
Okay, that's good.
There we go. All right.
What about Lunchables? Was there any Lunchables?
High-end Lunchables.
There were no Lunchables, but I mean, we could talk about who left the neatest rooms.
Yeah.
Somebody left a Lunchable wrapper on the floor in their room.
Was that me? Yeah.
I'm not going to say.
Who left the neatest room?
Well, you know that, Bob. For somebody who didn't know what a Murphy bed was, that was impressive that you got it all put back together.
Well, that was a fun week out there, and I know it's been a good week for the team, having everybody come back to camp, if you will. What's the mood been like? I know when we were out there, the big story was Cal and Randy and all that. Nobody had heard anything from Randy, and now everybody's back. Has there been any conversation that you're aware of amongst those two? Is it even a conversation amongst reporters out there?
Yeah, it seems like some of that has just been put on hold as they're trying to scramble to get these games into parts of the day that's not going to melt everybody that goes out on the field or the fans in the stands. It's actually been a really kind of odd few days because it's been day to day and what they're going to do. And so there's been scrambling here and there. And you've seen in lineups with Cal in particular being back and wanting a lot of at-bats, him deciding that he wants to be in the game the first day he's back. And so he's a DH, wasn't in the original lineup. Randy showed up at the game last night to get a couple of at-bats later in the game. And that was, I'm not sure anybody knew about that, but they found at-bats for him. So it's really been kind of an odd couple of days in that regard, and we really haven't had the opportunity to talk to anybody about that.
Hey, Shannon, we were talking about just sort of the air of expectation. What's different this year? I mean, you've been going down. What year is this for you, going down to spring training?
My first year was 2002.
Wow. Yeah, so I mean, what's sort of the overall? I know it's been hard to do, to sort of, check the gauge there, just because a lot of guys have been at the World Baseball Classic. But what's different about this spring training than others?
I think it's exactly that. I mean, it's kind of crazy how, and this is start to finish. It impacted the start. And that they were trying to get everybody into games as much as they could that were going away and get them up to speed and get them, the at-bats that they might have 3 weeks into spring training in the first week of spring training, which kind of puts some other players on the sideline. And then, of course, they leave, and so they're gone. And that kind of makes for very uninteresting games after the games got going. And, and then now everybody's back. And as I said, it's that scramble that we've been seeing. So, you do this for a long time, and there's a rhythm and a pace and kind of a timeline and a schedule to what happens. And it's been a little bit more unpredictable this year because of that. I think there are good things, and that obviously you get to see some players a little bit more that you wouldn't normally see as much, and also more time to focus in on the newer players. And of course, not a ton with this Mariners team that was so complete. But it's been anything but normal. And then you throw in the temperatures that they're experiencing right now. And now you're to a point where some of the work that they would do early on in the day, they're not able to do, or they're pulling way back on, and they have to watch all of that very carefully. So really just a strange spring training in that regard.
So let's talk about what, most people are I guess worried, maybe not worried, but just kind of questioning what's going to happen. J.P. Crawford, what do we think as far as his prospects for being available to start the season? And if he's not, and I guess it depends on how long he'd be out, but it brings up the Colt Emerson conversation. Leo Rivas is your utility guy who could fill in that spot, but would it lead to more consideration for Colt Emerson, or do you think he's better served to start the year in AAA regardless? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think he's in that conversation right now, to be honest with you. I think that he has had a very good spring, that they have liked the defense, that they have seen some good things on the offense, but I don't think that they are going to rush him for something that would probably just be the length of the IL stint that J.P. Crawford may or may not have to take on. So, then, what would you do then? You're not going to send Colt Emerson back down. Would he end up in a spot where he couldn't play every day? It wouldn't be best for him. And, to be clear, what we heard about Colt Emerson time and time again was, they hope he pushes it. They hope he kicks the door down. If he does, there'll be a space for him. And while he's had a good spring training, I don't think he has technically kicked the door down. I think that you would have need to have seen more kind of a steady progression through spring training with the bat. And instead, you've kind of seen it sporadically. We saw it a couple of games ago where, wow, what if he does this for the remainder of the week? Is that going to make it any more difficult? But I think that they did see enough that they thought that he probably can benefit from more at-bats, and there is in the minor leagues, and there is no need to rush him at this point if it is just something very minor with J.P. Crawford, especially when you take into consideration they feel good about Leo Rivas as a backup there. So I think that more opens up the spot on the roster for 2 weeks. What do they do in that case? And I think this might be a chance for Ryan Bliss, who we didn't think we would see early on. If they choose to go with an infielder, it's not something they have to do. They could, carry an outfielder or, as long as they're probably going to be looking for a right-handed bat, if at all possible, if not going with an infielder. So, that position, quite honestly, is not going to get a ton of play. The important thing will be is that you feel good about the person who is at shortstop, and Rivas has demonstrated that he can do that, and not just, on a day-in, day-out basis if you need it for a time.
Shannon, any updates on Bryce Miller? and his availability?
No, it's the same. I mean, we're not expecting, he's not going to be on the opening day roster, but he is progressing. And I think that the next thing that we look for from him is a bullpen where he's throwing with about 90% intent. And if he's able to let it loose at the end, then that would probably say that he is going to move into a live batting practice situation at that point. But again, I think and I'm not sure we would have seen this a year ago, but he understands how important it is to be smart about this, particularly at the start of the season. He's going to listen to his body. He so far has shut it down twice, A, when he first felt it after the one game that he pitched down here, and then B, when he shut down what was to be his first full bullpen session after being shut down. So I think he is playing it very smart right now, and where that oblique is, what he feels is going to determine the timetable. And I think the good thing about this is he hasn't taken a step backwards. He is progressing. He is, there was an up and down and having to shut down that one bullpen, but that's what happens when you're rehabbing. You go out there, and if you feel something, don't throw. If you do, all right, we'll go forward. I would say so far so good with him, and I think there is a good chance Emerson Hancock is in that spot. He has looked fantastic this spring, and he is certainly accustomed to being called upon in this situation.
How do they deal? Did I hear correctly? He's got one option left, Emerson Hancock.
Yes.
So how does that impact what do they do? He seems the obvious choice, as you touched on, and I was listening to Gary saying he was touching 98, 97 in his last start, which is great. But so he comes in, he's the fill-in guy when Bryce is ready. He comes back. What does that mean does he go to the bullpen and become a long guy, or
No. They'll use the option to get him on. The options are good for the year. So once they use the option, then they can call him up and down. It used to be an unlimited amount of time. Now there is a maximum time because, there were guys that were getting called up and down 7, 8, 9 times a season, and that's terrible. It's 5 or 6 times right now, but once that option is used, it's good for the entire season.
Okay.
Hey, tell us about George Kirby. I feel like that we didn't get a chance to talk to him, and I think that hey, look, there are guys like that on the Seahawks that just they prefer to not be interviewed and not talk to people. But yeah, just as far as his spring has gone, I feel like he's a guy we probably don't talk about enough. How has it gone for him, and what's the update on George?
I think George is in a really good place. I think he had a good off season. I think he is healthy. Last year was the first year that he's really had to deal with anything. And then getting him into camp, I think he is happy with where his pitches are. His command seemed locked in from early on. He also seems to, it's kind of an ongoing management of how much is too much. When is it not helping me when I'm Furious George out there? And you don't see the full extent of it other than you guys when you're in spring training. I don't know what your problem is.
I don't know.
I'm kidding. It's you just don't get to that full game and it's different. There's, just as we saw everything kind of thrown on its ear and amped up to the nth degree in the postseason, it's kind of similar when you go from spring training to the regular season. Well, now it counts. And now they lock in a little bit differently, and the adrenaline is a little bit different, and it's different to manage that. So we don't quite see the full-on Furious George down here in the spring, but he's had a good spring. I think that, if you were going on performance alone and you don't for opening day starter, maybe he's in that conversation next year. You never know. But I think the health is the most important thing. Add to that, I think that he's just, there's been a little more of a lightness to him, and I think part of that is, he's been coming to camp how many years now and got engaged in the off season. I think he's pretty happy, and I've really enjoyed being around him this spring.
Hey, what did you think of the decision to make Logan Gilbert the opening day starter once again? Any surprise on your part?
No, and I think when you take a look, he's the one that has done the most in that rotation. It's not a matter of who has the most wins or the best ERA. But it's somebody who does those things, but also has the leadership skills that he has, and also the guy that you can put the most on his shoulders. And I think that Logan is that guy. And, he is a guy that led the league in innings pitched a couple of years ago. That's another goal of his this year. He hasn't said that, but it is. He takes pride in being able to take the ball every fifth day and be able to stay out there 6, 7, 8 innings as opposed to 5 or 6, and realizes that that is an important part of his role. So I think that just not just what we saw last year, but what we have seen from Logan in his development and his time in the organization, I don't think that's a hard call at all.
Hey, Shannon, speaking of Logan, where are we? And we kind of heard that maybe there was going to be an extension offered, but wasn't sure if that was something that was going to be on the table. There's a lot of speculation. Any word on that?
There has been no buzz on that, and I can say that and tell you that this time last year there was no buzz on a Cal Raleigh extension. Yeah. So if that is something that is happening, then that is something that is happening very behind the scenes and very quietly. I think Cal set a terrible example in that because he fooled everybody. He was doing everything that he was in spring training last year while negotiating a contract. I thought that was pretty remarkable. But, again, no buzz on that for what it's worth.
Hey, what do you think the rest of the rotation looks like in terms of slotting?
Oh, well, that's interesting. Probably what it's been in. I think probably Logan, Kirby, Wu, and now with Miller out, it would be The Rock and then Hancock.
Yeah. They'd put Kirby ahead of Wu, huh?
I'm not convinced about that. I would have to. You put me on the spot there, and that's not something that I think about as importantly as a lot of people do. But it would be one or the other, obviously.
Well, I'm curious if they, we saw Wu, who was just ridiculously good last year. And, one 6-inning plus start after another, but then the pec injury happened. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a concerted effort to sort of baby step him early, watch his innings if they feel like, this is a guy obviously has dealt with injuries beyond last year. So I'm wondering if there's any, hesitation with innings with him, or how do you think they work with Wu this year?
I don't, because he was really brought along slowly when he first came up because he just simply hadn't pitched innings at all in his life, not just as a professional, but period. He got a late start to pitching late in college. So they were very careful with him the first year. And then you are also dealing with a pitcher who had the UCL surgery earlier in his college career. And so they're very careful with him. And I think they watched the innings somewhat closely the next year as well. Last year, he was the guy that they absolutely leaned on. But I think that is the reason why they would be a little bit more careful this year because of the injury that you're talking about and because they did jump his innings up so high last year. And I don't think it's a matter of, you can only throw this many innings. I think it's going to be what they typically do in watching pitchers start to start, maybe being a little bit conservative if there is any question there. But yes, I think there might be a little bit of that, but nothing like we saw in his first couple of years in the rotation.
Shannon, this spring, as far as the bullpen goes, any surprises or someone that in particular stood out to you?
Not really. I think that Cooper Criswell was interesting coming in and then knowing his option situation. They cannot send him down without exposing him to waivers and potentially losing him. And he, of course, can start or can relieve. So I think he probably makes the team as that kind of swing guy. I think that there is a lot of value in that. Casey Legumina has looked a lot better, particularly in his last 3, 4, probably 4 or 5 outings than what we saw last year. And you hope that that is something that translates, particularly in the second half of last year from Legumina. And now that he's got a little bit more consistent experience under his belt, I think that that is important. For Rare, after having a good first outing and then a kind of scary second outing, a little bit of up and down, he seems to be settling in, and you see the nastiness of his stuff, and you see the willingness to throw the breaking pitch and the off-speed pitch as well. I think that's important for him. Very interested to see what that looks like. Zuleta is probably a name that you've heard a little bit about, and I think that that is somebody, I don't know if he's going to make the team, but I think that's one of those arms that you could go to very early. Not a ton right there, but it does seem like they do have enough to fill out the 8 that will be in that bullpen, and then some interesting arms that will go to work down in the minor leagues. And you never know. I mean, some of the bigger impact relievers have done exactly that. Paul Sewald did that. He's one that you can name right there. Gabe Spire did that a little bit too. And, they just kind of go to work on some specific things when that happens, particularly at the start of a season. And they can make some dramatic changes pretty quickly once they get into, regular type schedule, regular release schedule in the minors. So I think that, there are some interesting names that you won't see right away, but you could see as the year goes on.
What is your take on what you've seen from Carlos Vargas in spring so far?
I think that it's a little bit like Ferrer. You've seen one good outing and then maybe a couple of shaky ones after that. I think that there is a good amount of confidence in what he is right now. He's not going to go out there and strike out the world. I think there is increased confidence in him after being able to pitch a full major league season last year. And I think he'll also be in a spot where you don't have to put him in as many leverage situations as you did last year. So I think he's in a good place in that. I think in the bullpens in particular, you've seen what his strengths are and what you want to see out in the field. And I think that he might be one of those ones where it changes a little bit once the lights get flipped on and the fans are in the stands and you get those upper decks. I think that will be probably something that helps him along. But, I don't think there are any worries about what he is. In fact, I think they're pretty encouraged by the fact that they can kind of use him a little bit differently last year and perhaps a little bit fewer innings, across the board for all of them, because there are more arms that are going to make that rotation. I think that they'll be able to lean on.
Hey, Shannon, when Dan talks about the rotation and, the slotting and who's starting out and everything, it seems like it occurs to us that it's the least of his concerns. How tight is this group, this rotation?
Oh, they're great. They're great. That's been like one of the pleasures of watching this spring. And I guess it's no different than it is in season, although it was a little bit different last year because they were dealing with injuries. And so they weren't always all together. And I know I've mentioned this before, but they pull all of the starters in. They'll be sitting at a dinner table, and it's not just the 5 that you're going to see in the big leagues. They were pulling Sloan and Anderson over there. Logan Evans, even though he's hurt, he's usually over there as well. And they count Hancock as a member of the rotation, whether he's with them or not. That is somebody Logan Gilbert has talked about how, good it has been to have him in the rotation, that he's part of those conversations and that he is somebody that's helped with things with different pitchers and been willing to be part of those conversations. And they just feel that he's there too, whether he's actually on the big league roster or not. And it's not a temporary thing that they see when he comes up. They don't treat him like he's a temporary pitcher. They treat him like a pitcher that has helped them out quite a bit the last couple of years.
Hey, Shannon, one guy that Dave and I were both talking about is a potential, just disruptor out there when he's going, and we saw it when he first got to the team, is Victor Robles. And I don't know, when I watched him out there, I saw him in one game, so that's all I'm going on. But he just, his timing in the box did not look good. He looked like he was behind the fastball. He was out in front of the off speed. He just didn't look comfortable in the box. What's the word been on him? I know he was dealing with a shoulder thing there for a bit, but any concern about what you've seen out of Victor?
Yeah, we haven't seen any real consistency with him at the plate this spring. So, and that's, you see that with hitters, and I don't know what he is really in the spring. We kind of saw the same thing last year, and then he was out early. So I don't know what impact that has of him going into regular season games. Some guys are notorious slow starters in spring or just have terrible springs that have perfectly good or perfectly normal type seasons. And so that I'm not sure. Would I like to see him have some consistency right now? Yes. Am I panicking about it? No, and particularly not with what they have with the outfield, where they've kind of leaned into having the platoons out there, which means you do have some extra help if need be. So I think your guess is as good as mine on him right now, and I think we're going to just have to wait and see because, there were timing issues early on. I'm seeing him, I think, at the plate just trying to maybe take a step back and just trying to be productive in some manner at the plate rather than going out there and trying to hit the home run, which he doesn't try normally. But I do think he did kind of take a step back to see if that helps. And let's see if we can move the runner over. Let's stay up the middle of the field when I'd really like to swing for the fences on this one, which I do think we saw early from him. And, yeah, the shoulder has been off and on for him this spring. I do think it has had an impact.
Hey, Shannon, real quick, any good stories coming back from the guys coming back from the WBC? Anything stand out?
Yeah, Tom Canzone was talking today about some of the mishaps they had with the espresso shots. Vinny Pasquantino was somebody who was making them at one point, and they found out pretty quickly that you don't want to take them straight out of the machine, and there were some burns that were had. So they had to pull the shots early and then just kind of let them sit on the bench. That was definitely one of the better ones right there. I haven't talked to him yet. I've only seen him once, but I can't wait to talk to him, and I can tell he's carrying himself a little bit differently. But Edward Bizardo is just having, he's thrilled. You can tell being able to be a part of Venezuela's team and have some impact was huge for him. He's got a little bit of big game pitcher in him mentality. And I think the best one, Andres Munoz, he travels with Matilda.
Yep.
And Matilda, the cat, the fluffy white cat.
That's right.
And so she, of course, was going to the WBC. And it was funny because when he got back, he went through all the questions, and I asked him about Matilda. And he starts telling me the story. And I'm like, are you okay with me telling the story? And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm not going back there again. But when they were in Houston, they didn't stay at the hotel that the team usually stays at. They stayed at a different hotel. And they find out that there are no pets that are allowed right before they go in.
Oh, no.
And Andres was all worried about this, and the teammates said, we'll put the cat in a bag, and we'll all walk through together, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if there's a problem, we'll stay somewhere else. So they get Matilda in, and Matilda's in the room and all happy. And then, I don't know how they found this out, but Texas is a state where it is law that housekeeping go in every 3 days. You can't just put up your do not disturb sign. And they go in every 3 days probably to make sure everything's okay, and probably to make sure there are no cats in the room. So every 3 days, Andres had to move the cat to another teammate's room.
Oh, geez.
So Matilda wouldn't get caught. But all's well that ends well.
That's
Matilda
awesome.
did not get caught. Andres is back in town. And Matilda is enjoying the backyard here in Peoria.
That's great. That's great. Hey, real quick before the break here, anybody emerging as the likely backup catcher, or is that still just kind of everybody's guessing as to who that may be?
Yeah, we don't know on that one. Mitch Garver had a couple of hits last night, and we know that he is the most familiar with this staff. It's kind of tough to tell. I think it's been kind of equal in how much he has caught, and Kinzer has caught the starters at this point. So it's a tough one. If you look at the numbers, either catcher, the one who makes it, the other catcher can opt out. I think Mitch might be tomorrow is the day. I need to double check on that. Mitch has an out day in his contract because of his status. There's a rule in baseball. If you have so many years, you can opt out of a minor league contract 5 days before the start of the regular season. So Mitch has that. Kinzer is out of options. So they could try to send him down and clear him through waivers. But even if they did that because of his service time, he could say, no, thank you, I'm going to go somewhere else, and they still have to pay him. So as far as the dollars and that kind of thing goes, who knows what that could play into it. So neither one has really stood out in anything. Both have been fine. Kinzer, I would think the more he worked with them, the more that he would learn. Garver has experience that Kinzer can't have because he hasn't played as long. He hasn't played with this team, this rotation, this bullpen as much. So I think it's just a flip of the coin right now for us. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm sure they put a lot more into it.
Yeah. Shannon, great stuff. We appreciate it and look forward to seeing you out here next week.
You got it.
Thanks, Shannon.
There you go. There's Shannon Drayer, our Mariners insider and our host out there in Arizona, picking up after us. Somebody sent in a text that wanted me to ask her, and we were out of time, but something about what's it like to clean up after a bachelor and a man whose wife picks up after him or something like that. Something along those lines. But our conversation with our Mariners insider, Shannon Drayer, is presented by Pacific Lamp and Supply. All eyes are on the Mariners heading into opening day. We'll dive into some of those expectations and more in Best of the Rest. It's coming your way next with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
9 out of 10 experts agree wearing earbuds at work is the universal signal for leave me alone. So grab the earbuds, pull up the Seattle Sports app, and trade that annoying coworker's endless yapping for this.
He's at the wall. Cal Raleigh's first one of the spring.
Listen to every Mariners spring training game live for free, only on the Seattle Sports app. Improving lives through Mariners baseball, one
Sparkling play by Josh Naylor
at a time.
High five. Up top.
Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Heck yeah!
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Yes!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping. Woo!
For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
It's WFC 190 World Fighting Championship at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center. Saturday night, April 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy professional mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing mixed martial arts event. WFC 190 World Fighting Championship, April 25th. At Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
The countdown is on.
Just 6 days until opening day next Thursday against the Guardians at T-Mobile Park.
On the home of the American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports. KIRO AM Seattle. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Taking a look at your tournament scoreboard. Games going on right now. 2-seed Purdue up on Queens University, the 15 seed right now, 30-22 the score in that one. St. John's, the 5 seed, up on the 12 seed Northern Iowa, 32-18. It's UCLA, the 7 seed, up on the 10 seed UCF, 29-16. Clemson is trailing 9 seed Iowa. Clemson, the 8 seed right now. Iowa up 35-29. Games that are in the books for the day. 1 seed Arizona gets the big win over Long Island University, 92-58. It was the 2 seed Iowa State over Tennessee State, 108-74. Virginia beats Wright State. Virginia, the 3 seed, takes out Wright State, 82-73. It was the 4 seed Alabama over Hofstra, 90-70. Texas Tech, the 5 seed, over 12 seed Akron, 91-71. It was 78-56. Tennessee getting the win over Miami of Ohio. 7 seed Kentucky gets it done in overtime against Santa Clara, 89-84. And Villanova, the 8 seed, falls to the 9 seed Utah State, 86-76.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Our thanks once again to Shannon Drayer, our Mariners insider, who joined us in the previous segment. If you guys missed that conversation, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page after the show. At seattlesports.com. We've got mean text coming up at 5:45 today, so you've got about 40 minutes to get creative at 866-979-3776.
Any good ones, Mike? Anything?
Have you not looked yet? It is Friday.
I'm looking at some.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
What'd you say?
It's Friday. You can look now.
Let go. It's a little fire toward you there.
No, I was helping Dave. He never looks until Fridays.
Oh, he looks.
You look?
He just calls them. He just calls them out for sending them in on other days.
They're idiots when they do it Monday through Thursday. And I don't think that's anything that's a secret or anything.
I just assume no one that listens to us knows how to type or put together a coherent thought. So
I asked Adam Ray for some, and give us some mean text. He said he's getting ready to go on stage. I can't remember where, and so I sent him just a quick text. What I thought I said was "kick some ass, buddy." But instead of a K, I put an L. So,
oh God!
It was an accident.
But did he respond?
He said, "Thanks, buddy."
Thanks. I'll do that. Yeah, he should go back and reread that.
Yeah.
He thought he'd have a snappy comeback to that one, but he's obviously got his attention diverted.
Well, I mean, the L is right next to the K. So that's, I forget myself.
All right. Well, he's going on stage, so we can't rely on him. We're relying on you, the listener, to come in with the snappy comebacks, the snappy mean text at 866-979-3776. But before we get to all of that, let's do best of the rest.
We know you love listening to us, but there are great discussions happening all over our station.
No, you idiot. It's the Bills.
You can die when you're dead.
Yeah, just not good at bats.
It's time for the best of the rest.
How dare you?
You can die when you're dead.
Love that one.
We'll start with Brock and Salk, and they were talking about the WBC and talking about what it is they feel like they learned from the WBC.
And it's unfortunately not repeatable, but single elimination baseball is very fun. It's not 100% baseball, but it's really fun. It's fun to watch. The anything can happen element and the upsets that can occur in a single elimination baseball game, super fun, right? Yep. Like and that leads to a lot more of that passion to the importance and feel of
the intensity
each game,
of it, the sudden death nature of it.
Yeah, I mean that's really great. It's a totally different sport because that's really not how baseball is played, but it was really fun. Like I really enjoyed watching it. Secondly, getting players, I think, away from the scrutiny of playing for money and the media scrutiny of, hey, you're making $20 million a year. There is an expectation that comes with that, and getting them into a situation where they're playing only for passion and country and friendship, family, it works. Like you see what it does to most of those players to open them up, to allow them to express more personality, to allow them to have more fun. I'm not saying that they would trade the money for the fun. I think they're pretty happy making the huge amounts of money that they're making. And I'm not going to be like back in the 50s, they didn't have these kind of problems because the guy didn't. It is what it is. Like there's a lot of money to be made and the guys deserve to make it. But you can see that when you take that away, you actually get more of the natural childlike joy that a lot of them really do have for the game. And it's pretty awesome to see.
Is that how people from the 50s talk?
Well, back in my day, see?
Yeah.
It's like James Cagney. What do you want? And I thought, once again, Brock was really insightful. I think he's right, though, in talking about, they are sort of away from the scrutiny of the payday for your home team, and you're not in front of your home fans, so that you're not in front of Mets fans if you're a Met player. So it's playing for that sort of camaraderie, your country, the family, everything. It is pretty cool, and it is a different environment. We talked about that the electricity in the building is different because it is one and done. You get eliminated, That's it. There's no, we'll get them tomorrow. It's a 7-game series or anything like that. So the urgency is completely different. And it does lend itself to and he's right. It's not like a regular baseball game because you play 162 or even in the playoffs. It's a 5-game series. It's a 7-game series.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I hadn't really identified that, I guess. And that's what made it so exciting. And then there was no better example of what he was talking about, the passion, than Eugenio Suarez's post-game speech. I mean, that was phenomenal. I love that, the passion. And, he's right. I mean, I like the WBC. I'm liking it more and more. Obviously it's great when you have that many Mariners playing in it, but I think he nailed it. I mean, those two things are what makes it special.
Moving on to Bump and Stacy, they were analyzing what happens with the shortstop position for opening day.
Bump, I'll ask you because you don't have to worry about JP's feelings. You're not Dan Wilson. You're not the skip. Would you be comfortable starting Colt at short if JP isn't ready day one, opening day, March 26th? JP can't go. You going with Colt?
I'd be excited. I wouldn't say I'd be comfortable. You're dealing with a rookie, man, a guy who hasn't been around the block a few times like the JP has. I look at Rivas, I think, but it depends on how long JP was out. Like if something happened, knock on wood, if JP was out like 2 to 3 weeks, then now I'm messing with the lineup a little bit, right? I'm starting with Rivas, but I'll probably throw in Colt Emerson there just to see what he has, right? Shannon was talking about the runway. This is runway. It's a runway you don't want to go down with JP being hurt, but you definitely got to use it. But to start the season, right, opening day, maybe the first series or so, I would go with a veteran like Rivas.
Yeah.
And I don't even call him a veteran yet, but a guy like Rivas, and then sprinkle in some Colt Emerson.
So we're all really excited about Colt Emerson's potential. He's your top prospect, a really exciting prospect in baseball, period. That's cool. However, you're trying to win a World Series this year. This isn't just about, hey, we're building up. We're going to start putting our foot on the gas. We're going to see what we got in these young guys. You're trying to win a World Series. I know that theoretically, and in truth, I should say, games in April matter a little less in the big picture. They still matter.
Yeah, I mean, look, we talked about this, Dave. Bottom line, who gives you the best opportunity to win games? That should be the beginning and end of the conversation. We feel like Leo Rivas gives us a better chance, or Colt Emerson is more dynamic. We feel like he ultimately gives us a better chance. Now, again, the length of time is going to determine that. If we're talking about a week, if they're talking about a 10-day stint, all right, they're probably comfortable with Leo Rivas. If for whatever reason, worst case scenario, hey, it's not getting better, we're going to have to shut him down for a while, talking about Crawford, then maybe it's along the lines of what I think Morosi was throwing out there. I think he was talking about sort of a combo between the two of them, where you take away some of the more intense at-bats from Colt Emerson against some pitchers that he may have a hard time with. You put Rivas in there. Depending on matchups, you've got a little more flexibility with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really fun for Mariner fans to dream that Colt Emerson is just one of those guys that's not going to have to go through that transition. Yeah. That he's just going to hit the ground running and everything. But I feel okay with Rivas. I mean, I just have glimpses of him from last year, and I always felt like he was a solid, shortstop. And so, yeah, what if Colt Emerson does just catch fire and he's just good all year long?
That'd be a great story.
What happens with JP?
he becomes a guy that comes off the bench. I mean, he's in his final year. He's got value as a leader, but if Colt, in that hypothetical, Colt Emerson is crushing the ball, playing solid defense, you don't try to fix what's not broken.
Yeah. I'm just trying to paint a picture of what could possibly happen. But the history tells us that he's probably gonna struggle at some point. But yeah, if that would be a really good problem to have, right? What do we do with JP?
Yeah, you'd feel. I mean, look, part of you, as a human being, you'd feel bad for him. He's in the final year of his deal, and then he gets benched because the rookie is just so good we can't take him out. I mean, It's a great problem in the sense that, hey, this guy that we pegged as our number one prospect in our organization and a guy we're, pinning a lot of hopes to for the future is panning out really early. Mm-hmm. That's a great thing. But then you're looking at JP going, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
But hey, have a seat.
Yeah.
Enjoy the game. We'll get you in there every other day or every couple days or whatever. But yeah, that would be a nice problem to have, but not for him, certainly. All right, moving on. Brock and Salk have been going through the Mariners and talking about the most intriguing Mariners and counting down. They're going from bottom to top, Dave. They're going from.
What?
I'm not sure what number they started.
That doesn't
with.
Make sense.
I'm not sure how deep they went, what number they started with, but they went to number 6, which they named Randy Arozarena as the number 6 most intriguing Mariner player.
When I built this list, it had nothing to do and was before any of the soap opera style drama that took place at the WBC and is likely to take place today. I'm sure there'll be a fight in the clubhouse when Cal returns and he and Randy see each other for the first time. You always see, media folks hanging around the clubhouse. You say, why? Well, what if there's a fight and I miss it? Today's the day, guys. Make sure you're ready, WWE style. Going at each other, Triple H and The Rock. I really enjoy Randy Arozarena on the baseball field. Fascinating baseball player to me because he's just so unbelievably talented, Brock. He's got a lot of different skills. He can get on base. He's got a good eye. He can hit for power. He can run. He's in the last year of his deal, something you've mentioned a couple of times. There are question marks with Randy. There's no doubt about it, right? I know, Brock, a lot of the frustration that you have. Why was he getting out of his approach just to get to 30-30? And if that was happening, why were they leaving him in that spot? Like, okay, just take him out of the leadoff spot then. Don't continue to allow him to have those sorts of problems. So there are some confusing elements, which, again, part of the reason that he's on an intriguing list, not just a list of the best players on the team. But at the end of the day, he's intriguing not just because he's mercurial, but because he's talented.
Does Brock ever talk on that show? I feel like every one of these cuts we play, all we get is, He doesn't, you don't find any cuts where he's weighing in?
Salk has the breakdowns.
Okay. All right. I just feel like we played.
I'm sorry, I know it's not cool to make fun of Brock and everything, but it is funny. I'm sure we all have our things, right?
Every clip we play, it's Salk going off, and you just hear Brock in the background.
Yeah,
just he's there for support, really.
Well, he agrees with Salk a lot.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's all he needs to put in there is, yep, you're right. But no, Randy. He's right. Randy's a talented player. Look, he was, to me, him getting out of his game to chase 30-30 carried over into the postseason because he was not good in the postseason. We were all talking about postseason Randy and looking forward to that and hoping for it. Didn't happen. And he is in that final year of the deal. And is the thing between him and Cal going to be anything that dictates his future one way or the other? No. I think he's been here enough to understand that he's a quality player. He's a quality individual. That doesn't mean you don't have dust-ups with or disagreements or whatever with teammates, but I don't think it's anything that has any impact whatsoever in the clubhouse or on his future one way or the other. I think if he is gone after the season, it's not going to be because of that. It's going to be because they feel like they can improve that spot. They don't want to pay the money to get that kind of production they can get out of somebody else for probably a much cheaper rate. So, if that's the case, maybe he has a tremendous season and they're like, we got to lock this guy up. I don't know. He's capable of it. We've seen it. He was career high in home runs last year, but it was toward the end of the season that he kind of got out of his rhythm, and it just unfortunately carried over into the playoffs.
I think I know the answer to this, the last fist fight in the locker room?
Probably it was
clubhouse.
It was probably D. Gordon and Gene Segura.
Yeah. It doesn't happen. It used to happen all the time in the NFL. I know when I've been
didn't hear about it. I mean, the media was different back then, right?
Yeah.
We didn't. Not everybody had their cell phone, could tweet right away that I heard this, that, and the screaming behind the door, and you didn't have that option. So everything's so immediate, and everybody's got cameras and recorders, and so we probably never heard about those things.
I would be shocked if there's any kind of animosity between the two, and I think that's what people are probably, wondering about when they hear, Cal and Randy, that they think it's going to be some kind of a throwdown. I can't imagine that.
No.
Can't imagine that at all.
I don't think there'll be anything. I think it'll be a lot of nothing. Last one, this comes from Bump and Stacy, and they were getting into World Series expectations for this team, and something we've talked about, just sort of the praise and expectations of national media.
So you've got Mike Petriello saying, this is the most confident I've been in a Mariners team. I don't know which AL super team they can't beat. I don't see a reason they can't beat the Yankees. I don't see a reason they can't beat some of these top payrolls like the Blue Jays. Buster Olney says, not only do I think that they can beat those teams, I think that they could beat the Dodgers in a World Series meeting. I know that, you kind of have to come up with a reason not to pick a team with a bunch of future Hall of Famers of the Dodgers, but I can find those reasons. Are we talking seriously enough about the Mariners actually getting to and winning a World Series? I mean, are we really taking it seriously?
Probably not, because we have trauma, you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to football, personnel wins you championships. Coaching enhances that, but personnel wins you championship. So if we look at the personnel and we listen to these experts across the nation, right? According to MLB, there's 9 tiers of teams that they have, right? The first tier, the Dodgers by themselves, saying look, these guys are just chasing history,
sure,
right? And then there's a second tier teams. There's about 5 of them. The Mariners are one of them, and they labeled it ring or bust. Right, so that's one. It's MLB.com. Then you go to ESPN and they rank their top 100 players. You got Cal at number 7, Julio at number 9, Brian Webb at 46, Naylor at 97. And then you go to Buster Olney, and he's ranking different positions. You got Naylor as the 7th best first baseman. You got Julio as the best center fielder, and it goes on and goes on. So the fact that these guys are popping up on these lists like that, lets you know that it's not just us talking about how good this team could be. It's the baseball world.
Yeah, and that's what you and I were talking about to open the show, Dave, is that I think it's kind of an uncomfortable spot for Mariner fans. We're not used to that. We're just used to, Mariner fans are generally used to going into the season going, they're not going to do anything. Typical Mariner, that's been the same forever. And then obviously the recent success, certainly last year, was a game changer for a lot of people, and the city bought in and went crazy for it. It was a Mariner mania out there. It became real last year. We're this close.
Yeah.
You're game 7 of the ALCS. You win this, you're in the series. It was just a surreal position to be in. Unfortunately, they didn't get there, but I think that made it very real for a lot of fans. So I think for some, this sort of praise isn't jarring because last year kind of prepped you for it. But I think it's still, even though you had that, you still, when it's one after another saying things like that, it's like, wow, this is kind of an odd position to be in as a Mariner fan.
Yeah, and we talked about them having a target on their chest and how that's kind of an uncomfortable thing. But, so are the Yankees. going to the Dodgers, the Toronto Blue Jays. I mean, it's I don't know that everybody. I wonder, like, if we're in another state or a different city or whatever. If you're talking about, the Mariners being in there, if there's that kind of expectations. I think we know more about this team, obviously, and feel like we got a chance here. So looking at 1,300 to 1. So
no, I think it was plus 1,300.
Plus 1,300.
Yeah. Somebody sent that in from BetMGM, and I think the Mariners were the third most likely or third biggest favorite. I think it was the Dodgers. I think is the Yankees second? I have to go back and find that text. But somebody sent in a text. Mariners were third.
Yeah.
So that's a good place to be, man. I love it. I love the confidence. I love the expectation. And I think, more importantly, that expectation is not just national media. It's the team. It's the organization themselves. And I love that. Meanwhile, which under-the-radar Mariners player is poised for a big season? We'll get into that next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Breaking news this morning from ESPN.
Is it finally happening?
Good golly, Miss Molly.
ESPN's Shams Charania, the NBA, will vote next week to explore adding expansion teams in Vegas and Seattle. Joining us now, Shams himself.
The NBA is projecting that both Seattle and Las Vegas would immediately jump into the top 8 of revenue-generating teams.
Stay caught up on the latest at seattlesports.com and Seattle Sports on 710, the app, and YouTube.
Flying chickens in a barnyard.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Discover the ultimate diamond buying experience. Unparalleled quality at unbeatable prices.
Hi, I'm Diamond Dave of Cantor Diamond. At our by appointment office, you'll receive truly personalized one-on-one service to your needs.
No high overhead of standalone stores or mall hours to pay for. We're direct diamond importers designing and manufacturing in-house, eliminating all the middlemen.
Stop overpaying at retail and enjoy serious savings on quality diamonds.
From the first consult to the final reveal, we guide you through every step, ensuring you get your dream diamond ring, necklace, or earrings without compromise.
Romantic proposals, anniversary splurges, or just because. Indulge in diamonds for less.
Call today for your private appointment for a dazzling diamond.
Call Diamond Dave at 253-272-7007. That's 253-272-7007. Or follow them on Instagram at Cantor Diamond. That's at Kantor Diamond.
Don't miss Three Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League Baseball.
This could be two. JP has it, goes to the bag, steps on second, fires to first, double play.
Broadcast times at seattlesports.com.
So, what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
High five. Up top.
Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business.
Yeah!
It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Heck yeah!
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Yes!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th. Switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months for a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We got mean text coming up in 15 minutes. 15 minutes for your mean text at 866-979-3776. Have they picked up the pace, Lefko?
Well, they're doing better than Brock in those segments. So I guess they're doing all right.
They've had more words?
They've had more input, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're doing okay.
All right. All right.
Slow and steady gets there. They need a little more encouragement, our listeners.
You still got 15 minutes. That's coming up, 866-979-3776. Meanwhile, just taking a look at this Mariner team, Dave, is there a player, and it doesn't have to be an under-the-radar player. It can be anybody on this team that you expect, you know what, I think they're going to take a big step forward this season from what they did last. And it may be somebody who was good last season, but you just think they're going to be that much better this year, or somebody that wasn't great that you think is going to be good. Who would that be?
Yeah, when I looked at this, the first name that popped into my head was Dominic Canzone. Dom Canzone. I feel like he's got all the tools, and he's shown some flashes. He seems to be a very confident kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, that's my choice. I'm trying to think who else, though. Really, I mean,
I'm going to go in that same spot. Luke Raley. Luke Raley, which
he had a couple of good spring games.
Yeah, he's done well in spring, and hopefully he can stay healthy because we saw the year before he had a solid year. He's a good player.
Yeah.
Last year was absolutely him and Bryce Miller and Victor Robles. Seasons were ruined by injury.
Right.
Like they just couldn't. I mean, I know Bryce, he had 18 starts, but he was on and off the IL, and he was able to get in there but it just a completely disjointed season for him. Obviously, Victor Robles was gone for a majority of it, and then Luke Raley, he was out for a long time. That oblique completely derailed his season.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he wasn't if we're being fair, he wasn't great before that.
Yeah, hopefully that's the case. I mean, both the guys that you and I mentioned are right fielders, and you know, if things don't work out with Robles, then you know those guys are right there to step in. So yeah, I mean, Maybe that's wishful thinking.
They'll be your DH platoon as well.
Yeah.
With Canzone and with Luke Raley, they'll be in that platoon as well. So between playing in the field and DHing, they should get plenty of opportunity to have impact. And both good dudes. You root for both those guys and they've shown that they can do it. They both got pop. They can get it done. And Canzone, remember, he got sent down, came back up, and he was on fire after he came back up and then cooled off. As the postseason happened. So hopefully he can get that going again. But yeah, I could see, of the stars, I mean, Cal, he can't be better than he was last year.
No.
I mean, it's just that he just set the bar way too high to say, well, he's going to take a big step forward. Really? Is he going to hit 65? Mm-hmm. Is he, that's just not a fair, realistic expectation. Julio could be better, I guess, but you're talking about a 30-30 season for him. He ended up having a really solid year. I understand it came in, big chunks. It was spotty, but in the end, he had a nice season. Does he get off to a better start? Maybe he could be one of those guys. Maybe Naylor could be that. You get a full season of him, but he was really good the time he was here. So expect him to be better than that throughout the whole season. I don't know if that's realistic.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, you look at a full season of him, and that's kind of one of those things we forgot about, that you're gonna get that. But yeah, it's as far as the biggest step, and I think you and I talked about the underdog or dark horse is Victor Robles.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah. So it just feels like you have so much more potential, like I've said in years past, that there's always like a hole here and a hole there, and maybe they can cover it with I feel like they have the guys to do it. It's just a matter of, staying healthy and how fast do these young guys develop.
Yeah, and we'll see, as far as like the young guys, the ones that aren't up with the team, or at least may not start the season with the team, talking about obviously Cade Anderson, Ryan Sloan, Colt Emerson, curious to see. I don't know if we'll see the pitchers. I mean, again, I don't want to see them because that just tells me somebody got hurt.
Yeah.
Because you do have presumably two other options before you get to them. You've got Emerson Hancock, and Cooper Criswell is another guy that they looked at as he's long relief or he can start. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't have any options, so I think they'll have him in the bullpen to start the year. But you get beyond those two, then you're looking at Anderson, Sloan, potentially. I think things have gone the wrong direction if we see them.
Just as far as like impressions and, just talking to Ryan Sloan, I think it was just more than anything. Like, he's 2 years out of high school, right?
No.
I mean, and he looks really young. And Brock was like, oh, this guy's he's a beast. And,
he's
look
Quadzilla.
Yeah, but you look at his face and it's like, oh my gosh, he's a baby.
He looks like he's 2 years into junior high.
Yeah.
I mean, he is incredibly young looking. He is young. They're both young.
Well, and you look at Cade Anderson, I mean, and coming out of LSU, and there's a lot of talk about how advanced that program is compared to others. And he seemed very, very, self-assured.
Yep.
And not cocky, but confident.
Mm-hmm.
And, I feel like he might be a guy that you might see this year. But I don't know, Ryan Sloan, I hope we see him, but, I guess I would be mildly surprised if he pitched at any time this season.
Yeah, I can't wait to see both of them. I just don't want it to be this season.
Oh, yeah.
Because of what that would tell me. But we had Jim Callis on from MLB.com, MLB Pipeline, and he was explaining why Cade Anderson, in his opinion, will get to the majors so quickly.
That was a guy the Mariners coveted. They weren't sure they were going to get him at number 3. And, if you're looking for somebody to be the Trey Savage of 2026, to go from the first round of the draft one year, playoff hero the next, that could be Cade Anderson. I mean, he's got 4 pitches, fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. They all can be plus pitches at time. They all can be his best pitch on any given day. And along with the stuff, I mean, it's advanced control and command. It's a tough competitor. He probably, this will sound funny, had more immediate scrutiny at LSU than he's going to have in Seattle, just because of the way that program's covered. And I just think it's a matter of getting him pro experience and ready for the longer pro season than anything he really has to do developmentally.
It's like guys in the NFL coming out of Alabama.
Yeah.
You feel like that's run like a professional franchise. And, yeah, LSU. It's incredible. But yeah, nice hearing this from Jim Callis, and it's nice to know that we're not the only ones thinking this.
Yeah, and then the other young guy that I think would be obviously more likely to be seen before both of those pitchers would be Colt Emerson, and he just talked about how good he is defensively and what his timeline looks like.
And I think where he's really opened eyes since he's been in pro ball is the bat has been exactly as good as expected, but he's a better defender than people think. And I think, it's a case where he could be a stable shortstop. He'll be able to make the plays. It wouldn't be a stretch. So I think, it's kind of a nice luxury. If they need him, he's not going to be in over his head. He'll be able to handle himself. In an ideal world where Crawford isn't hurt, you'd probably give him some more time in the minor league. Regardless of what they do with him on the opening day roster, I think we're going to see him in the big leagues sooner rather than later. And I think he's going to be an exceptional player.
It's good to hear that stuff. I'm excited to see all these guys.
Yeah, it was too bad we didn't get a chance to talk to Colt. It just didn't line up for us. But it was really cool sitting there right across from Kate Anderson and Ryan Sloan, just seeing these young guys that look like the
future.
Logan Gilbert 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep, there's a lot to look forward to as a Mariner fan. Meanwhile, it's your last chance to get them in. You still got about 5 minutes to get them in. Mean text at 866-979-3776. We'll come back with your work next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Having one of those days where a little of this would make things so much better?
Fastball, strike three called. He got him looking. How about that for a Cactus League debut? Kate Anderson striking out the side.
We got you. You can stream every Mariners spring training game live for free on the Seattle Sports app. Making lives better through Mariners baseball, one
goodbye baseball
at a time. Home of your American League West champion Mariners.
Well, spring is all about getting ready for summer, isn't it? But do you have a room just sitting empty and you've dreamt of making it your own home gym? Hey, Brock Heward here, and working out in your own home, well, it is the best. We've been doing so for years, and you can allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do the rest. A complete fitness room design. It's no secret why everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love Top Fitness. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have everything from flooring to weights that go in a home gym. And right now, get spring special financing with 0% interest for 12 months, plus mention me and receive an $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here to get you in the best shape, so go get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
At quarterback, calling the right play could change the whole game. And when your car breaks down, same idea. Make the right call before the big repair bill hits. CarShield helps protect you from expensive auto repairs. Plans include 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, and rental car options, all to keep your drive alive. Look, breakdowns happen, but choosing CarShield, that's the easiest call you'll make all day.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-777-1225.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. BABBEL.com.
See country star Aaron Lewis and the State Liners at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, March 24th at 8 p.m. And now an added show on March 25th. He's a multi-platinum artist whose raw lyrics and powerhouse vocals have captivated fans for decades. Now he and his band, the State Liners, are coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Get your tickets now to see Aaron Lewis at muckleshootcasino.com.
Get broadcast times for every Three Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League broadcast.
Holy smokes, he does it again!
At seattlesports.com.
ESPN is now the home of MLB.tv. If you have the ESPN Unlimited plan, you'll get a $15 discount on the 2026 seasonal MLB.tv package. And if you don't, no problem. When you sign up for MLB.tv, you'll receive a 1-month free trial of ESPN Unlimited. Cancel anytime without losing your MLB.tv access. Get in on the action at stream.espn.com/MLBTV.
ESPN Unlimited auto renews at $29.99 per month after free trial unless canceled. Blackouts and other terms apply.
On eBay, every find has a story. Like if you're looking for a vintage band tee, not just any tee, the band tee. You wore it everywhere until your best friend stole it. Now you're on eBay, and there it is. Same tee from the same tour. The things you love have a way of finding their way back to you, especially on eBay. Where else can you find that mint trading card you searched everywhere for, or your first car, the one you wish you never sold? It has to be eBay. Shop eBay for millions of finds, each with a story. eBay, things people love.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert, or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart. Just complete the purchase. Hurry. This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Save $10 on a pair of Rain-X Latitude wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people will even install them for free.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Bring your visions to life with smart business buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need to achieve your goals. Go to AmazonBusiness.com for support.
Wyman and Bob. From
text if it isn't Friday. But for some reason, I had no desire to send a mean text Monday or Tuesday of this week.
Okay.
You weren't here.
Next, want to thank our guests, Tim Brando and Shannon Drayer, for joining us on the program. You know the drill. If you guys missed any part of those conversations or any part of the show, you can find it on the podcast page at seattlesports.com. Click the podcast tab, click our picture. It'll be right there waiting. And don't forget to click subscribe. We'll talk to you on Monday with Wyman and Bob.
Having one of those days where a little of this would make things so much better?
Fastball, strike three called. He got him looking. How about that for a Cactus League debut? Kate Anderson striking out the side.
We got you. You can stream every Mariners spring training game live for free on the Seattle Sports app. Making lives better through Mariners baseball, one
goodbye baseball
at a time. Home of your American